Coming up on the next episode of the Celsius Pod.
Are you sure about that? I have a file with you right here that says...
Nikola, when you were watching this film, did your family members ever walk in and be like, what the fuck are you watching? Y'all look like those teenagers in movies from the 90s. Hey, I'm bisexual. Let's go. Guys, welcome to the Celsius Podcast, episode 57.
It's 8, Beck, 58.
Which is a
Get that
reference
right.
to last episode where I said one before.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's the temperature where everybody is?
We are in
turned?
two locations.
55, and then Nikola.
One second, I have it set to Los Angeles. Let me set it to where I am right now.
Yeah, because
Not in
Nikola
Los-
went
Sunny?
to LA.
I did for a day. I went to the place where GTA was made.
Wow.
That's-
It
what's
is
the name of this place?
currently
Oh, I
heavy
remember.
raining.
Heavy rain. Wow.
Wow.
It is, give it a
You
second
should
to
play
load,
heavy rain.
55 degrees.
That's where it is here. Wow.
Yeah, it's almost like
Damn.
we're coast state.
We're almost like we're coughing. Yes, I agree.
Yeah,
Okay, I'm sorry,
um,
I'm sick. You guys have to just deal
Oh
with
yeah,
the fact that I'm sick.
Nikola, sadly, he got sick.
I will be passing away
yeah.
on this episode.
That
That's
would make
dope.
a great clip.
Something I want to talk about that I don't want to talk about at the end of the episode, but we can talk about it now. How is everyone's short film update?
Fuck.
How are we doing on that game?
Aiden is video productioning the film.
Yeah.
Really? I'm right now in my I've established my day 5 days of filming, and I'm on my second day of filming, which was today. So I will do that, and then I should have it done by January 7th.
Oh
That's
my
when
god,
movie should be
bro.
done.
I have like 4 scenes and I think they are gonna do good.
Unfortunately, Beck, I have 80 shots I need to do
80 shots left or 80 shots total?
total.
Okay. I just have like,
Okay.
I have the general plot figured out and it takes place like this room, done. Like I know
Okay,
I know
wow.
4 locations and scenes.
This is
in
my
one.
general plot. This is my shot list. This is what I have right here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take a gander of it. You're not gonna see it again.
Is it the
So
joke?
true.
There's
I,
nothing there.
Yes, that is the joke.
Okay, because like I have like a script. I know the like the 4 major characters, but I just need to like figure out how am I gonna film this? Am I gonna do just like it's me talking to myself, which is the only idea I have right now. But also my basement is currently being used for a New Year's party, and I need it for filming. So probably January
Wow.
1st, I start filming. And then
I see.
I'm Beck Lyon's editing genius, so I can probably get it done in like a day.
That's
Wow.
true. You're good.
Yeah, I went way more intricate for you. For like a week, I was just thinking a story and writing down my script. It took me like 5 days to write my full script done because I was rewriting. Because every day I would just rewrite it since I would say like that idea is no good. I have to rewrite
I
that.
feel so bad
now
now
that-
because I was like I need to figure out the story. Then I came up with that'd be a good plot idea, and then I'm like, okay, that's good. You're doing like 5 different revisions. I just have like that'd be a good 5-minute film. How long?
Beck? Now that I'm learning screenwriting professionally at my college,
He's in college. Next year in college, I'm doing 50-page screenplays. Gonna be very easy.
I'm definitely just gonna write it all in one day and then film it all in one day and then edit it in that same day that I filmed.
I mean,
it.
I was too busy working on the greatest Christmas episode of all time.
Oh, yeah.
Or
that's so
Feliz
true.
Bazedad, so I have not been able to work on
Feliz
it.
Bazedad.
I do sing at the end.
Yeah. So right now, currently,
no.
Well,
Currently
it
I'm
was
at
a
9.
duet.
yeah. But Feliz Bazedad. That's I hope everyone has a bazay New Year.
Yeah.
And it had a good bazaar holidays.
Yeah. The Zamus,
but
everyone looks
no.
forward to it every year. I'm happy to.
But For context, Beck's Discord name is Bazadry, so that's
yeah,
the
and I
stupid joke.
have this was the 4th annual Bazadry Christmas episode, also known as Bazamus.
Makes sense.
Yeah, but right now I got the script before I started filming. I got to like 7 pages, so that's the story. No, it's kind of an interesting story. I'm not going to tell the story, but it definitely has something to do with alternate versions of me.
Ooh,
And so
that's a cool
Ooh,
idea.
does one of them go to Mexico
Yeah.
by it becoming yellow?
Yeah.
You got
but-
the Mexican
yeah,
Uri. It's just
so
him
right now
tinted
I'm
yellow.
kind of like I've only gotten like a few shots done, so I'm really gonna have to gear down over these next few days and really start to film. And so, because I'm going for a rubric, baby.
Oh,
Have you guys figured out how to get the PR or ER line? Because I just
PR
figured it out.
Hey,
or
I'm trying to
I
shift
completely
it
forgot
around the
what I
scene I
said.
have.
I completely forgot the stuff I said.
You said Alpha
Yeah.
Vixen, a specific wrench. I forget the exact number.
I can't
and then
wait to get those
PR,
wrenches. I cannot
Yeah.
wait to collect my wrenches.
And the
I don't get-
wrenches.
You're
The
not gonna
wrench.
keep the wrench, Nikola.
I gotta keep Uri's wrench at least. I need it for rowing.
I would need a wrench for rowing.
to
because
tighten
I'm
the
I need to
bolts.
disassemble
Oh.
and assemble the boats constantly whenever we travel.
Mm. You're
It's like
the
you guys
guy
don't
who
even
does
know
that?
what the sport is.
I
Yes.
just need, for me, my script. It needs.
Why don't you just row to where you need to be?
Unfortunately, a lot of it is not connected
Yeah.
via
mean,
The
waterways.
Mississippi River.
Are you watching Tangled?
Mm-mm.
Mm.
No,
I
it's
can't
What?
skip it. This Disney DVD isn't enhanced with Disney's Fast Play.
No,
it's the trailer.
this is such a rip.
For me, my
But-
script, I'm like, I have like a cool plot idea. I just have like the least interesting characters, and I need like them to have more personality. Like I need to solve
Yeah.
crimes for this, you know?
You don't
Someone-
have yeah. You can't get any of your family members back. I mean, I'm not doing that, but you can't get any of your family members.
I don't really want to. I think I can just
Yeah.
ace it on my own,
Yeah.
no help.
Yeah. Luckily, I do have experience from filming some sketches with myself, so
Yeah,
I can.
you're probably you're the best go for it. You have like the screenwriting major. You
Yeah.
have the experience of doing the shorts.
Yeah. But Beck has the editing, so that's
Yeah.
something.
Are you just using your phone?
That is
I
true.
have the raw talent.
I'm actually no. I'm using a camera.
Because
like-
my phone doesn't have like the cinematic blur thing, so it's just like
Yeah.
gonna
Yeah.
be no
But I feel
blur
like
in
that's
the
been-
entire
that-
phone.
Yeah. I've used it before, but I feel like it's too tricky and like
It is. Yeah. So I don't want to have to like focus. So I'm just gonna do like
yes. I'm just doing a
nothing.
DSLR. Yeah.
yeah.
So, but I'm going to see how well I'm going to be able to act over the next few days because I'm going to get all the shots done, and it's going to be exciting.
I need costumes, bro. Every character
Yeah.
can't just be wearing a blue shirt. You know?
That is true.
Yeah.
Yeah, do you have other sweatshirts or like jackets or anything? Like
I
a
have
hat,
like
glasses?
I can use like my green
You
pally
can do
hoodie.
different shades of blue to signify
I
the
can
different
change
people.
myself in post.
You can do
Like,
different
I'll pull
shades,
like
back
Lek
lines.
different shades
Beck
of blue.
really likes all CGI,
Yeah.
but
I mean, I
that's gonna be
would do a
exciting.
fully animated film, but 2 weeks
Me
is
too.
cutting very close for that. I'm
Yeah.
trying to do an animated film for Pampa that I've been going to work on. All
Wait.
the-
Speaking of Pampa, are we does now that like the main guy who ran it last year is gone, is it still going to be run?
Nicola's the only one in the film club, but if no one is
Wait,
hosting
what?
it, I will
I
I
talked
will
to the
organize
person again. What's her
everything
name?
just to make sure it happens.
What's her
Oh,
name?
yeah.
I talked to her again. Betsy Franco.
Beck, are you going to have to coordinate with people from Gun to do Pampa?
Yeah, bro.
Are you
Okay.
gonna show them storming and then have
I'm
them
going to
That is
I'm going
true.
to submit strike package. I that's on lock.
My
and-
biggest flex is that Betsy Franco still remembers who I am.
Wow.
That's true.
Yeah.
But yeah, have you talked to the head of the film club, Nikola?
Kind of.
Okay, just I want to make sure like if there is a plan for it, because
She's in our grade.
Yeah. I mean, if you give me her info, I might just ask her on my own.
Literally look up Pally Film Club and all the stuff is on
For
there.
context,
All
On
right,
Instagram.
PAMPA is the Palo Alto
Oh,
Motion
Picture
Picture Awards.
Yep.
So basically, students make some shitty films and they put them up and they give them awards.
Some of them were good last year. A lot of them were
Yeah.
good. I remember there was this amazing
Yeah.
one. It was two people.
There's this really good one where it's
talking
like
to
this
each
girl is
other,
like,
and then there was someone in the background who loved it so much he ran up to the head of it and started talking to him.
yeah. There was this really good
remember
movie
somebody
about like,
Somebody submitted this one thing. It was basically two people talking, and they were like, "We need to make it to Mexico." And then all of a sudden, it turned yellow, and they're like, "Oh my god, we're in Mexico now."
Yeah. You know, I
there's
remember.
this really good one where like a girl is like fat and she feels bad about it, and she won the award for best acting. So.
Yep. You know, I'm still mad I lost best screenplay.
Oh my god, I forgot.
Eternal
They
Judgment. That hurt me a lot, bro.
They posted a picture of a certain person that was on this podcast before because he met Aubrey Plaza, and they're all really big fans of Aubrey
Wait, that's
Plaza.
crazy.
Arian Kawatra, guest of
Okay.
episode 3, has met Aubrey Plaza. Now I've mentioned him, and he can't do a thing about that.
Wow.
That is true. He doesn't even watch the episode, so he wouldn't understand that.
That is crazy. I can't
But,
believe people from this podcast keep meeting famous people. We got, you know, Uri met Bob Iger.
Bobby
Iger.
Iger.
Yeah.
You
And
met the
the
creator of
Grim
BoJack
Reaper.
Horseman.
you two need to meet someone famous.
I met Betsy
met-
Franco.
Mars.
Yeah.
We all met Betsy
Oh,
Franco.
yeah, no.
Beck.
Aiden, this Genesis, you're getting one with Hungry Box.
Of course.
I
Oh,
met
Beck, you.
the Grim Reaper because I'm about to fucking die.
Let's go.
Okay, guys, let's move on from the short films and let's talk about something, our own channel. Surprise, surprise, our own freaking channel.
Oh, yeah. Okay. All right, do you want to explain?
I mean, there's so much to explain.
I will
So
explain it if it's too hard.
you can explain it back.
So
you can explain it.
recently,
You really are dying.
we have been
It's not good.
posting
It's really not
a
good.
lot of our Celsius podcast clips onto the YouTube Shorts, which
Uh-huh.
is crazy to me how much like more views they get in Shorts than compared to like actual episodes. So we're gonna
Yeah,
keep
it's
doing
true.
it.
Uh-huh.
It's what keeps our
But-
channel afloat.
Yeah.
We're ready
Mhm.
to announce a big announcement.
Yep. Or you want to do it?
Uri, do the honors.
I'm kind of lost on what the announcement is.
Yeah, what is the
Clips
announcement?
channel.
The
Oh,
new
the
Celsius
clips,
yeah.
Clips channel.
Yeah,
Yippee.
we are launching that, so that is exciting.
If you
We've
have
had
been
it-
enjoying the clips, move over to there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll
those
here's some
will be the
upcoming
longer
clips.
length clips, and then we'll have the short, less than 1 minute
Still on our
YouTube
channel.
shorts on the Shorts
Yeah.
tab.
Are we
Yeah.
going to start
People
getting
watch
clips?
them.
People
of
watch
the
them, and we
clips?
get a lot of views from them and subscribers.
On the clip
So-
channels,
We
we're
get
also
no
going to
money.
we're also going to be putting shorts on the clip channel. That's going to be like clips of clips.
No, we are not doing that.
It's like 5 levels of reaction content.
live.
I love that.
Okay,
Yeah.
but the thing, so it's exciting. We've now, because our clips, when we started, we were kind of middling clips. We have a lot of different types of clips.
Yeah, we have
Here
gaming
is
clips.
the worst. Here is the worst performing. Here is the worst performing clip we've ever had. It's called. It has 4 views. It's from the Aiden and Uri episode where he talks
Oh,
about
I
killing
know
the
the
swan.
clip. So
I don't
basically, it's
know
these
how
two people
a short
talking
can
to each
get
other, and they're
less
like,
than like 10 views. But
"No,
I
I
don't
know.
know either.
I actually know what short this is. This is the one where it's two people talking to each other, and they're like, "We need to make it to Mexico," and then all of
I
a
don't
sudden it
think
becomes
that's-
yellow.
that one is like that one actually is like one of our most viewed.
I
It's
know.
Yeah.
1.9.
Yeah,
Yeah,
1.9.
that's actually
So-
pretty high.
That's better than your.
So
it's
I-
better than your Nikola talking about fat people clip.
Oh, that's just
so
really
here,
funny.
What's
so
That's 'cause you buried. That's because you
Alright.
buried it. What do you mean? I just said
Our-
jolly.
our top
Oh,
15,
let me pull,
guys,
let
our
me pull it
top,
up.
our top 15 shorts have done better, or at least 1K or above.
Guys, do
That's
you
exciting.
find it interesting that jolly people make up
Make
13% of the
30% of the population. Yeah,
yeah,
give 52% of the joy. That's
This
statistics
this
right
guy's
there.
ego is really big.
Wait, that
That's
comment's
statistic.
gone, by the way.
What?
I know. I think it's
Wait,
sort
you
by
go-
newest.
If you go,
Yeah.
oh really? If you sort by
Yeah.
newest on it?
Yeah,
Anyway,
for some reason
so
YouTube
it's
hides comments.
exciting.
Yeah.
It's exciting. So, but something that's because we don't
there
usually
it is.
get a lot of comments on our shorts, but some of our most recent shorts have been doing a lot of comments.
Yeah,
I have
8,
three
which is
in-
not a lot for a normal channel, but
Yeah,
for us,
but-
that's way too many.
That's big. That's way too many. So,
Considering none of them are family or friends.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's crazy to me that
So
actual
here-
random people now watch this podcast.
So right now, here, let me look at some of our 3 latest. So this started off with
I still can't believe
racist
our most
old-
viewed video though is the V fan cam.
Yep, and it'll stay there. Something finally
racist-
dethrones that. I'm gonna break into tears, bro.
Yeah, me too.
I'm gonna destroy you.
So racist old guy becomes black.
Oh yeah.
It was the first short that did pretty like well. I mean, like the comment
Comments-wise,
section.
yeah.
So, but the comments,
What
Aiden,
the hell,
I
guys?
think you can
What?
read the comments, Aiden, for this
All
one.
right, Bro is on to nothing.
Oh,
Man is just
yeah, that's
recapping
so
the
funny.
Twilight Zone laugh emoji. So you saw an episode of the Twilight Zone. Good for you.
We're also getting
That's
a
not
lot
nice.
more
Why did you do
picky
that?
comments,
Learn
yeah.
to take a joke.
No, 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 no,
Look
no.
like
Who
he's
the
about
fuck
to
are
tag
these
you for
guys?
something.
Nicholas, or not Uri. No, Aiden. So for the so you saw an episode of the Twilight Zone. Some random guy replied to saying the movie.
The movie.
So
The
you were
movie,
yeah.
corrected by a big Twilight Zone fan.
I mean, I was talking about the movie, and then there was the guy that said I'm recapping the Twilight movie, which I wasn't recapping the Twilight
Very
movie.
true.
I've never seen those movies.
Oh yeah, no. Wait, that is funny.
I haven't seen the Robert Pattinson Bat Fellow,
Mm.
not to be confused by the other one where he's also a Bat Fellow.
So
Some
true.
guy
Yeah.
said, "Hey, this is the Twilight Zone. I know that episode."
That's so true.
yeah.
We got
Cool
It
story,
definitely isn't-
bro.
We got
I don't know if
interesting.
you've seen the comments on the most
No.
recent short.
My
What
favorite
about
one.
that?
My
It says,
favorite
"Who
one.
the fuck are these guys?"
No. I have this better one. That's not nice. Why would you do that? Learn to take a joke. Bro looked like he was about to say, "I can't believe you've done this." To Nikola saying that, like, bro does not
Oh, because
know
I was
the
doing- because I was
context of what he's
Yeah,
like,
because I was sarcastically
he's
saying,
being
"Oh my god,
racist.
how could
Why would you
somebody
do that?
say this?"
To Nikola, bro.
Yeah, because I was doing the. Why would he say such a
Why
thing?
would he say something?
Yeah. Because Nicola's the racist one.
Yeah.
No, that's Beck
And
Lion.
so
Stop putting the
people
blame on
kind
me.
of people are kind of
We've
dunking
gone
on
over
Aiden
this. Beck
pretty
is just
hard on
me,
that
but
clip.
racist.
So
But
people
then-
are dunk. Yeah.
And
But
then
but besides that one, there's our most viewed short, which now has some mean
4.4.
comments on.
I think
So here is this the Monobrow podcast? Whatever the hell the Monobrow podcast
no, bro.
is.
The thing is, you looked that up. He means monobrow, like we all have one eyebrow.
That doesn't even make sense.
I don't get why it makes sense either, bro. It does not make sense. No, because we're all signed into the same Celsius podcast YouTube channel. I looked into the search bar, or he looked up monobrow podcast.
I had to look it up. All you young men sound like the girls when you speak. Like literally, that was bad. It was bad. That he's referencing Beck when he said
It
that.
is, bro.
But Beck doesn't. No, Beck doesn't say that. He says something else.
He says the words, but there's some
There's
words
a lot of
between
space
that.
in between them. No, like
really
I was
funny.
literally looking through like the hood.
Like, I was literally-
no, like literally, I was going through the hoodwink.
Like literally.
Okay. I was going through the
And then
hoodwink
s-
clip, and I'm like, I do say like so often. It's crazy.
And then so here's on this new H Bomber guy clip, someone says like nobody got anything. James deleted it
Look
all
what
himself
arrived.
when he couldn't BS himself out of it.
Yeah,
That's
no,
right, the
that
melted
one,
frozen
it is-
yogurt.
I do think we kind of got that wrong because he did delete all of it on his own, and then he did a terrible.
you
apology
got that
video he
wrong.
deleted. I did, yeah.
Yeah.
Then he deleted
Yeah.
his apology video, which is pretty funny.
Yeah.
Anyway, but I just say this whole
Nothing's
say
gonna
our
rival
clips-
my
No,
apology video.
no, we haven't got to my favorite one.
Oh, yeah.
28
So here's the
comment
most-
likes. Y'all look like those
Wow.
teenagers in movies from the 90s.
That's really funny.
That one, probably the best comment we've ever gotten.
I don't know if it's supposed to be mean or not.
No, I'm taking it as a compliment.
I think it's just a comment. I think it's neutral.
Yeah.
Mm.
I think it's just a
someone
statement.
says Rashomon for children. That's actually a fire idea.
Aiden knew. Aiden had seen that movie. I
talked about it before.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I saw it for my film class. It wasn't good.
Wait, was it on the one that I wasn't on?
No.
I think he just watched it.
I might have missed that.
Maybe. It might have been on the one that I don't know.
Maybe.
I literally like that hoodwinked one. It's all comments being like, guys, I love hoodwinked. The other people saying
one guy
it's
said
bad.
hoodwink sucked.
He said hoodwinky sucked. He didn't add the D, so it's different film. But yeah,
we say it's all to say our shorts are doing better, so please follow, get the clips. Here's some clips that will be coming out when Beck talking about him interviewing the BoJack Horseman creator.
That's going on
maybe the Bob
channel,
Iger, the Bob Iger clip. Maybe
there's this one comment on the is it Owl House Horse and Amphibia short?
Oh yeah.
It is from a guy named Aiden. His handle is Aiden. He has a BMO profile picture, so he should be leaning towards my side. Fine, you must have standards. One is clearly better than the other is good, but geez.
Yeah.
Okay, so what I'm thinking, what my analysis of that comment is that he's roasting Beck for being too obsessed about this, but he does agree with Beck.
I know, bro. I'm agreed with. It's awesome.
But I think he thinks you're a bit too intense about it.
Yeah, because
you need to be
personality.
You need to be you gotta need to be strong about your beliefs.
Anyway, let's move on from talking about
this clip. You know my favorite clip? I love this one. I love half the screen just being me. Laying my head on the ground while Nikola is talking, but we can't see his face.
Yeah, why are you having freaking AI editing?
This is AI editing. This is not good. I would never make anything like this.
Yeah, why do you think AIs are editing?
Beck would never use ChatGPT.
Beck would never. Okay, Beck, we gotta talk about this. So for your not ChatGPT, but for your I thought you were against plagiarism because when I watched your BoJack Horseman video, a lot of it I read the guy's Wikipedia page before seeing your video because I wanted to refresh myself. And when you went through the video, this guy's just reading the fucking Wikipedia page for the BoJack Horseman video.
Pause. I'm gonna tell a story. This is the In Focus story for the week.
I thought you didn't have one.
I'm making this BoJack Horseman package. I get 2 group members on board, and they're like, "Okay, yeah, we'll help you write the script." I do some research. I look in the Wikipedia page, and then I write some of the stuff, kind of summarizing it in my own words. But then I read it again, and the other people had basically just copied Wikipedia. So I'm like, do I rewrite their entire section? No. I'm like, okay, that's fine. I do all the voiceover. I do a bit of the editing. Then I watched the 3-hour video about plagiarism, and I'm like, okay, now I feel kind of bad about doing this, but I've already recorded all the voiceover and edited everything. So now I do feel really bad for copying the Wikipedia page, but it wasn't really me. It was the group members I'd worked with, and I kind of
Have you posted the video yet?
I haven't posted yet, but am I going to spend the next week rewriting, re-voiceovering everything in different words? Maybe. But I'd actually genuinely like your advice. Do I change it, or I'm not sure?
I think it would be a very Beck moment to just completely change it.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I mean, it also just like it hasn't been like approved. Like it's weird.
Most likely, it will be approved.
Yeah, it will be approved. But like, do I ethically feel good about that? I know it's basically just copying Wikipedia, and do I want to have it be that?
Or do you want to change it? I would say.
Yeah, but I might feel kind of insulting if I completely changed the other group members, their big contribution.
But if they read off of Wikipedia,
How much
I
contribution
mean,
is it?
okay, you are dealing with what is basically a high school journalism class. You do not need these people to like do the deepest research.
I
True.
do.
Like, I don't expect
would
them
say-
to find these sources and do all that stuff, but I don't personally feel good about having it just be Wikipedia.
I would ask the other people in the group if they're
Mm.
fine with you changing it to not be plagiarism. Then I would change it.
Mm.
But I think you're also the type of person to spend your entire vacation just fixing it. So
Yeah,
I think you should fix it.
Okay.
I think back, how much work are you willing to redo? Are you willing to redo
I
all of
mean,
it?
this entire break, I have done not much that's productive. So maybe
Me neither.
maybe in the time between filming my movie, I might just change it.
I have sent 2 emails. That's the majority of my production.
To people?
So back, I don't think.
Actually, no, 3 emails to teachers.
Mm.
That's the majority of my production.
Back, I don't think it's gonna be that bad. I think obviously it's high school, but
The thing,
I think if you feel, yeah,
I don't feel good about it personally. Like attaching my name, it's my voiceover, it's my editing, built on this script that's basically just Wikipedia. It feels like building a house in a tar pit, if you know what I mean.
So you
Yeah,
you
but
want to change it, so then change it.
Yeah.
I want to change it, yeah.
it's not. But I mean, it's not like fully Wikipedia. It's just like
Yeah, no,
everything
no,
that's
like-
you still got the video to enhance.
You know what
it
you
of
should
the interview.
actually do?
What?
Voice over everything that the other people also say. Actually, just edit them out of the video, so it's just you and the
yeah,
guy.
it's completely
voiceover.
yours.
It's literally me doing the voiceover everything. It's just certain sections other people wrote that then I voice over.
No, that's what I'm saying. During the interview, voice
Yeah.
over what they say.
Voice over what the creator of BoJack Horseman says. I dub
No,
the BoJack Horseman creator.
The other
Yeah.
2 people that were next to
Oh,
you during
I
the
don't
interview.
see them. They don't. All we see is
They
the clips
don't-
of him talking.
Yeah,
Oh, okay, yeah.
I think for right now, if
Bro, okay, can I tell
Maybe
a
if you
story for like editing that?
yeah,
I felt like
Yeah.
so cringe about everything. What I had to do was to edit it. I like literally like pixelated all the footage and turned off my audio just so I wouldn't like cringe having to edit me talking to this guy. Because like, I
My
feel
God.
like, bro, it's like it's kind of
It
like
is pretty
editing
cringe.
your own
think after
voiceover.
doing-
It's so hard.
You'd think that
Yeah.
after doing like a podcast for 60 episodes, you'd be
Yeah.
used to hearing your own
I
voice.
know,
but
bro. Literally, that's what people keep telling me. But this is so easy.
because I feel like with with BoJack Horseman creator, you're a bit more strict in your
I
like
swear to
probably.
God, if the guy sees this and it's just the Wikipedia page, I am going
Oh
to
my
shoot
God.
myself.
so that's why you should change it. I think you've decided for yourself to change it because
Yeah.
clearly you're not happy
It's
with
just
it.
hard
unless you
to
change
add
it.
another thing to work on.
Yeah,
Yeah, but you want to be
um,
able to live with yourself.
I would not be able to live with myself.
True.
So yeah, I feel like Beck, it's as much as I feel like whatever you feel is gonna be right.
All right, yeah.
But
I mean, we still
I-
have. I believe it's 11 days of break.
yeah. Is there any updates on the whole Aiden hates Owl House situation, or is that still
I don't hate the Owl House.
Oh, sorry, you like prefers Amphibia?
No updates.
No updates on
You
that.
can rewatch the show to.
I have not. But speaking of watching,
Let's
guys,
talk.
what have we been watching?
Oh, great.
I want to talk about. I want to go first.
Yeah,
I
whoever.
watched.
Yeah, sure, you can go first.
I watched the new Percy Jackson show.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, no, bro.
I've heard about
I was
this
at
show.
like I was at a dinner
I've heard.
the other night, and they were like, "Yeah, guys, I remember Percy Jackson. It was so good." And I'm like, "People like the books, but they
I
didn't
have
like the
seen
movie."
2
So
about
is
the
there?
show. I know that he praises Jesus and that he flosses. That's all I've seen about
What
this movie.
the
and about
doesn't
the
one
show.
thing I
praise
remember from the
Jesus.
movie
But he
is there
talks
was a
about Jesus.
guy. He was in crutches, and then he grew horse legs, and that was the
That was
biggest
true.
twist I've ever seen.
No,
I
When
read
I
all,
was 4,
all
bro.
of Rick Riordan's book,
So,
and that was not a bad.
I-
It was not a bad series.
And also
I
his
liked
No,
it.
it's
mom
not a bad
dies.
series.
I just
the
don't
mom
understand why
doesn't
they're
die.
Yeah,
remaking
when he
it
gets to the
again.
camp, like the giant monster eats her, right?
no.
That's the
So
movie.
here,
Yeah.
So
okay.
here's-
I'm
no,
literally
it's not even
all
in the
I've seen is
movie. so I read all the first 5 books. He has
I've
other
read all
series,
of the
but the
books.
first 5 books.
Literally
The
all
way
of
they're
Rick
planning
Riordan's books.
this series is like one season, like a book. I'll be like 5.
What are you doing?
Oh my
He got
god,
a
he just
pause
got
there. He
emailed.
lost his
He got an email from Bob
so-
Iger saying, "I want to interview you."
he's going
Wow.
band for band. He said,
Anyway, so there's 5 books, 5 seasons probably. Infamously, the movie was the 2 movies that came out based on the first 2 books were infamously terrible. And because I watched them when they came out, and like I don't hate the first movie. I don't. It's not. I don't. Compared to the book, it's a terrible, terrible adaptation. But on its own, it's fine. The second
Yeah.
movie, on the other hand, is also just a bad film in general.
Ray,
But
I have a question.
yeah,
Does the movie at least follow the basic premise of the book?
yes.
it does, but there's a lot of stuff they miss out. They change kind of like where they don't change like the locations they go on the quest. They change like why they need to go on this quest. Like they change it to get like these pearls to travel from the underworld back to like
Right, I
the
remember
thing.
that.
Where in like the movie in like the books in the show, all they're doing is they're traveling. They have a purpose of to get to the quest, and they know where they're going, and it's more fleshed out
I
version.
forgot, where was hell in the original movie? I remember it was like
Here.
Detroit or something.
It's L.A. It was in
Really? It
L.A.
was
still.
LA?
Yeah, it was in
I
L.A.
could have
Who would
sworn it was
think that?
Detroit.
No, it was L.A.
Because I remember it's like because I remember I saw that scene and I laughed out loud because I'm like, why does every single Hollywood depiction of hell is just always Detroit?
No, it was in L.A. because
Who
it was
who
in.
knew that Hell on Earth was a real place and that it would be in New Jersey?
I
Well,
mean,
actually,
New Jersey. That's what it is. It's New Jersey. That's what it was. I just thought
That's
Detroit,
a-
but it was New Jersey.
That's a Futurama bit.
Yeah.
And so yeah. So let me just follow. So in the first books we get like the first book is like he's like kind of like the Harry Potter kind of storyline where it's like, he doesn't know he's like special. He has like ADHD, which is a thing like all demigods do. And so like the gods, they're so fucking horny. The gods, they have like these half-blood demigod children. There's like a camp, and then Percy goes to this camp, but before getting to the camp, his mom is like kind of not squished by a minotaur. She's like evaporated into nothingness, kind of into
This is
by
the
a
movie
minotaur.
plot, right? Or is it all three?
No, this is just like the regular plot.
Oh.
And the movie is like it follows like the movie is like cuts out a lot of things so far from the books, but it is generally the same plot.
That's good.
But so right now Percy's quest in the first book is to follow is to get to the underworld to stop because someone stole
New
Zeus's
Jersey.
lightning bolt, and Zeus thinks that Percy did it, and so he has on a quest to find this lightning bolt. And so right now, I haven't read the books in a long time, but it's following the source material really well.
Yeah,
the
I remember.
characters really fit. Yeah,
I read all of his books, like every single one,
Yeah.
including the Kane Chronicles, including the Magnus Chase ones, all of his books
yeah.
in like
Uh,
elementary school. So I
and,
don't remember any of it now, but
It's right now. It's
No,
following
I
from
actually
what I remember.
I remember one time, I think it was like third grade, I wanted to check out the first book in the Heroes of Olympus. And the librarian said, I think this book is beyond your reading comprehension, and did not let me check it out,
Ooh.
which was kind of rude.
Oh, I remember elementary school. They had like some random like bookshelf in the back where it was like, if you can tell me the definition of 10 of these words, I'll let you check it out. And when I finally landed all of it, I was so proud.
Yeah.
Or
like
the
the
words
def-
like
It's the
osteoporosis.
forbidden books from
It was-
Stranger
I
The
Things.
book was
know.
like dog, God. Can you define God for us, Beck?
Yeah.
But no, right now I'm just gonna say, based on these first 3 episodes that have come out so far, I really like the way it is going. You do get kind of like that bit of that. It kind of feels like when you get like a show just following like child actors, it can be cringe about sometimes. But now that I remember the books, they were a bit cringe a
Yeah,
little.
definitely.
Yeah.
The books were a bit cringe, so it does get that kind of vibe. And the guy they get for Percy is like actually like 12 years older in the
Yeah,
movies.
I always forget
he was
the
like
fact that they're like
18.
actual children in these books, which doesn't really.
Yeah.
It never computed in my head because it's like
The
the
movie
s-
got
the
like an
stuff they're doing does not
18-year-old
make
to do
sense.
this.
Yeah, and that's
Yeah.
how I.
I mean,
that's
that's
how I
what
always
I'm
saw
worried
it.
about for like the Avatar live action is like Aang looks literally like a child. Like, at least that's the same for me, like animation. Like, when you see like a kid in animation, they look like 10 years older. But like when they're actually like put in like a like essentially like also in Ahsoka, like
Yeah,
Nikola when they like show
it
the
doesn't make sense
flashback.
for a 12-year-old to be able to like beat
Yeah,
a god.
like in like
That's why
in
it
the
doesn't
animation, it's
compute
like,
to my
oh
head.
yeah, of course Ahsoka can do that. But like if you go to the flashback, she literally looks like an iPad kid or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's really nice to see a series with Riordan because he infamously wrote like an essay about how the movies will fail. And so he's actually part of the writing team for this show. He's part of the casting. So it's nice to see a creator kind of taking back.
I remember a
like-
little bit ago, I was thinking about the movies. I'm like, wow, I feel like if we remade the movies from this era when people weren't doing anything with good lighting and stuff like that, for some reason, every movie from this era is super dark. And like, if we remade all of these movies from like this like this like this
Oh
like
my god.
I can't say it. Why am I dying? This like this time in like modern day where we actually know how to like do lighting and know how to make a good movie, it could actually like be good.
You're saying the lighting ruined the
I
I'm
have
saying
no
it's one
idea
of the
what you
most
just
stark-
fucking said.
I think it's one of the most clear things that's wrong with a lot of movies from that time.
What
is that
time
they're
period?
so
The
dark.
2000s?
Like 2000 to
I guess
now.
2000s. Yeah, I guess they're all shot so darkly, and I don't know why.
Yeah, because you hate things that are dark.
Oh, then Nikola is probably going to hate this show because guess what? Instead of like having a white girl for Annabeth, they have
Whoa.
a black girl.
Who's
Oh my
Annabeth?
god,
That breaks
that's
the
very
continuity.
cool and progressive.
But that breaks the continuity.
Yeah,
No,
so
I've heard people
Annabeth,
on
like-
Twitter complaining about this.
She's like the female love interest in like for Percy, and like she's his quest partner. She's like the Hermione of the Percy, and then the Ron is like the guy who's a satyr, and he's like he's the guy who protects Percy, and he has goat legs because they're half goat, and he's the one who you're talking about had crutches in the movie. Beck.
Does he have crutches in the show?
No.
My favorite plot beat has been ruined. Terrible adaptation.
No. Hate when that happens.
But so far, I'm just gonna say it's a really good adaptation following the books. There's some things that are like not perfect, but there's like child acting, they can be kind of waffy, but I think it's pretty good. They get the guy. Aiden, you watched the added project, right? Did you?
What?
Did you? You watched the thing with Ryan Reynolds? I feel like I remember you watching
I watched the beginning. I didn't get very far.
They get like mini Ryan Reynolds to be Percy, and he's pretty good.
Okay.
Oh, you mean the younger version
something-
of him?
Yeah. But I will be talking about that every week. So yeah.
Only the first episode came out.
It's a show,
First
yeah.
two,
First 3 episodes.
but then the third episode came out like next week or something, the week after. Something else that I watched Rebel Moon.
Oh, I
heard
watched the
that.
first 30 minutes, so I can talk
I
about
saw a
this
lot
with
of posters for it in LA.
Okay, so Rebel Moon. Okay, God, where do I talk about Rebel fucking
you.
Moon?
Start at the beginning. The voiceover.
This is the Zack Snyder movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this movie.
There's so
I'm
many
gonna-
posters for it all around LA. I don't
So this
understand
movie
why.
has famously. So this is kind of Zack Snyder's Star Wars. You can very tell from this entire movie that's very, very derivative of Star Wars. The whole thing. There's like.
It
It's
starts
like- it's
with a
like-
voiceover instead of a title crawl that basically just explains the entire plot.
Yeah. And so essentially you start off on this kind of like barren planet, not barren, but it's like
Farming-
kind of like a
farming colony.
farmer planet, a farmer colony on this like kind of away planet, and there's like this, I guess, empire you could call it. There's like a remnant of like this like there's like this empire that's coming, and this empire in the backstory they say in the beginning of the movie, there used to be like a kingdom and king, but then it was some assassins killed the king and queen, and now he rules or something as like the regent king who's usurped the empire.
I kind of want to watch
And-
this just to see how bad it is.
And
Yeah, I
so
had to
we
stop.
follow a few like officers from this empire, and they visit the farmer colony, and they're
That
like,
was
give
the
us
one scene I like kind of liked. Where it's
Your
like,
new
they
empire?
land and they're like, okay, we need to trick them into thinking we have no food. And then they talk, and then, oh no, they figure it out. But it was
Yeah.
pretty tense. And then everything else is this woman like being like, guys, war, not very good. I need to not fight the Empire, but then I need to fight the Empire, you know?
Anyway,
The
in broad
Empire?
strokes, I'm just gonna say this.
Sounds like
So this movie, we follow this one girl at the farmer colony who's like moved to the farmer colony, and guess what? She used to work for the Empire as like one of the most deadliest assassins, and now she has to pick up warriors to help protect the farmer colony from the Empire. And
It's
We- so
basically
essentially-
the Bug's Life, right?
I
yeah.
love Bug's Life.
This
So
movie is
true.
essentially just a bunch of fetch quests to get different people to join her army to protect the farm colony. And as we follow her story to get different people, we follow like the few officers and like them trying to track people down, track her down and her gang. And this movie, I just feel like it lacks a lot of like soul. There's not much like depth to it. The action, feels very blocky. Or she just gives some straight up exposition dumps of her backstory to like her farmer guy who she brought with him to help get others. It feels
Yeah, it's
I don't
not
know,
a
just
very good
not-
film.
just not very interesting. And I think it also has something to do with this is a part 1 story. And there will be a part 2 in like spring or something.
Is there a big cliffhanger?
There is a like a cliffhanger, but it's not a very good one. That like we find out in her backstory that the one who worked this lady who used to be part of like the main character used to be work for the Empire. Her home world was invaded by the Empire, and then she was taken as like a daughter by one of the commanders. And guess what? That commander is now the king of the Empire in modern times.
Oh,
So
he's not the
So
he's
she-
not the general that shows up to.
that means he's
No,
bad.
That's a different guy.
That means he's
Yeah.
evil.
So she's basically like the surrogate daughter of the king.
yeah, but now yeah,
that's not a
and
good
so
twist.
that's his whole.
I don't like that.
And so it just there's a lot. The characters really feel boring. There's way too much fucking slow mo. They do it, guys. They do this twice in the fucking movie. They do a scene where a guy is running off a cliff, but they slow mo the whole fucking
There's
run.
way too much slow mo in this film. There's
I love
Zack
slow-mo.
Snyder-
so much, bro. There is. I do not know what Zack Snyder was thinking. Hey, let's just slow everything down in Premiere.
He was able
good.
to get he got a slow-mo camera for a day, and he was like, we have to use it for its fullest. It was
No,
actually,
they do
it's
this-
actually,
for $30
it's
and said
actually-
we have
They do
to
this-
make these $30 count.
it's actually co-produced by the slow-mo guys.
Bro, I do not. They gave him so much money for this. This is like Netflix's. They need like a Star Wars, and they're like, you know what? Give it to the guy who doesn't make a lot of good films. Let's give him like $300 million.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're kind of like over hating Zack Snyder. But it's
Maybe
not-
I
want
but the two films I've seen from him, which is Sucker Punch and then this, were not very good.
I mean, have you seen the Snyder cut?
Yeah, have you seen
I
the
haven't. I
Snyder
actually
cut?
really
It was
like
better
that.
than
Okay,
the
Kinda
Snyder
opinion
cut
kinda
was
changed.
better than the other thing.
I like the
What about
Snyder
Army
Cut.
of
think he's a
Army
great-
of the Dead was pretty good.
Is that the one where they do the
Um,
vault?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that one. I don't know. I kind of liked it.
I'm going to say something. I don't think the CGI is too bad in this film. I think visually, this movie is very interesting. I like the first part. I thought it could be a really interesting from the first part, but they don't take it into a very interesting way. I feel like the world they've built is a really interesting world, but the story that they chose to stay in this world is not a very good one. I probably would have preferred something like the king or like the royal people of this world. That would have been more interesting.
I like
But they do
the
kinda like-
idea. Oh, sorry. I liked the idea that this was more of a smaller story. inside of a larger universe, but I that's why I thought like, hey, all these characters are unconnected from the big family assassination. One of them is not the one that killed them, but I don't know, the twist that it's like the daughter of the new king feels kind of weird.
Yeah. And so essentially this movie, she tries to get these different people, but the people she gets is like they provide little to no fucking resistance. This whole movie just a fetch quest to get a bunch of different people. Every person requires little to no like
Persuasion.
argument. There's like they'll be like, I won't do it. But what if that? Okay, I'll go with you. That's cool.
That's how you write character dialogue and motivation, I thought.
I
right?
don't know.
Yeah.
For me, like
And
people
this
say
whole
like,
time-
oh, that's
Yeah.
just like a fetch quest. I mean, like most films are kind of just like, hey, we need to get this thing. It's just like the
Yeah.
journey.
I actually kind of have something about that, but I'll talk about that when it gets to what I've been watching.
Okay.
Anyway,
is that
but
everything for you?
There's also this. No, I have like a few more things.
Okay.
There's this thing where in the movie the main guy they wanted to get is this General Titus guy, and
Yeah.
they're like, we gotta go find this General Titus. But when they find General Titus, he doesn't really do anything. He just kind of just like, okay,
You must
he's like,
kill me.
here's-
Cool.
It was like, I lost my men, and I won't help you. But you gotta pay the respects of the men who died. And it's like, I'll come with you. And then the rest of the movie doesn't really do anything. There's like a betrayal in the movie. Kai, there's this character they meet earlier. The only guy who has personality is like a kind of like a bounty hunter kind of guy. He was like, I'm ready to help you. I'm ready because like, he's like they do this thing where he's like, I guess it makes sense later. But he's like, he helps them get some other people fight the cause. But then he's like, I'm going to help you fight on your farm colony because I'm ready to finish this way of life. But I have to make one last shipment. And so they make the shipment. He's all like, he betrays them by selling their location to the Empire. And he's like,
That was the
my
shipment. The information.
and so, but then he dies. And so,
Maybe
yeah.
the shipment was the friends we made along the
And
way.
Yeah.
Essentially, yes, because the movie ends where they end up on the farm colony, and all prep. It's all the main like the friend group. They're on the farm colony. They're prepping for war probably when the Empire comes, and that's what part 2 is going to be about.
Mm.
Oh, there's going to
And,
be a part 2? I'm
Yep.
surprised
they
I
call
got
it
greenlit.
Rebel Moon Part 1, A Child of Fire.
Wow. And then what's the other one going to be? A Daughter of Water?
That'd be fire.
Avatar.
An adult
Way
of water.
Okay. What
Um,
else, Ray?
So now onto something that's actually good. Wait, actually, I have 2 more things. I'll say the bad one first.
All right. Yeah.
um,
Keep this bad train going.
So, okay, so guys, you're
Oh.
familiar with the summer I turned pretty, correct?
Oh my God.
I do
The
know
winter
about that
I
one.
turned
No.
ugly.
I know
Wow.
someone who also
So
knows
there's
about
this
that.
show on Netflix called My Life with the Walter Boys.
Not the Walter Boys.
Aiden,
Oh,
no,
Walter
all right.
White.
Do you just
Walter
love bad
White.
rom-coms?
It's not. It's like okay. So here, let me tell you.
Okay, I can't
wait.
make fun of him because something I watched this week.
Oh, no.
Oh my
Oh.
god, you watched more freaking My Hero Academy?
No,
No
it's
way.
spring. We do have to rank it for the year because season 6
I don't
came
watch
out this year.
anime because I'm not cringe. Let's get back to that when I get
so-
to what I've been
Okay,
watching.
so there's this girl named Jackie, and she's in New York, and then guess what? Twist. Her parents and sister die,
No.
and then guess what? In the mom's will, it says that she has to go live with her like best friend from college, and so guess what? You know what the best friend's last name is? Walter.
Walter.
And then-
Marco White.
And then now she has to move all the way to Colorado, and now she has to live with this like family that lives on a ranch, and they have like 8 boys, and they're all and like
Wait, so is
there's,
her
like,
will like, I will only give you my inheritance if you live with these random people?
I don't know, but that's the set for the show, and now she has to adjust to this new life. But guess what?
The
fucking
suns
what?
are hot.
The suns are hot. The suns are hot. Well,
So
okay,
true.
Peak television.
Beck, the thing is, you could probably condense. There were like okay, there are like 10 Walter boys in this thing. You could probably, but the
10?
main two are these like,
Wait,
there's this really
10?
hot.
That just hit my brain. 10 people?
There's 10 Walter
Yeah.
boys.
What
They
is
have
this?
like the eldest Walt.
Oh.
You have like the second eldest Walter boy who's like Cole. His name is Cole Walter, and everybody at the school is fucking obsessed with Cole. Like he's the hot guy, but guess he has trauma because guess what? He has a broken leg, and now he can't do football anymore. And now his life is fucked.
Oh.
No.
Sounds amazing.
And then they're like, and then everyone at the school is like, "Wow, are you under the Cole effect?" That's the thing they say in the show.
No,
must
not
be
the
under-
Cole effect.
You must be under the Cole effect, the Cole effect. And
Yet again,
but
proving
then there's like the nerdy little brother who likes this niche little book called Lord of the Rings. He reads that all the time. Like,
Niche
it's
little
like,
book?
like a niche little book called The Lord of the Rings, the
I never
Fellowship
heard
of
of
the
that.
Ring. It's like a niche little book, And then like it's like he's a good little nerdy boy, and he likes Jackie, but she's so like attracted to Cole. She's more magnetized him because he's more unpredictable. And kind of the show is like we follow the troubles of the Walter family, but the main story we follow her kind of like falling in love with Alex, the nerdy one, and Cole, like the really hot one. And yeah. And I'm under the Cole effect actually because he's
oh
hot.
my god.
He's hot.
Hurry, no.
I'm
Why
under
would
the
you do
Cole. And so I'm only 4 episodes in, but this is hot shit. Yeah. Anyway, now into a good show. So there's this thing on Apple TV Plus. It just finished its 3rd season. It's called Slow Horses, and it's not about mentally retarded animals, if that's what you think.
I
So-
don't think you could say that.
You definitely can say that.
He definitely
I thought you were
can't
gonna say Mythic Quest, and I'm like, oh, this is so sad.
Why couldn't he say that?
Okay, so it's in the we follow in this British government. There's this group of like agents that are living this like that are part of this this house called Slough House, and they're called the Slow Horses. Essentially, the Slough House is where you send the agents who fucked up in some way or another, and you send them there. And we follow like the different members of the Slough House and how they're kind of like deal within conspiracies and work within the bigger MI5 government in Britain and in London, I guess. And so we have the leader of Slough House, who's like who's like an alcoholic old bitter guy who makes fun of his team, called Jackson Lamb, and he's played by Gary Oldman, known for Sirius Black in Harry Potter, or what's his name? Commissioner Gordon and Batman: The Dark
That
Knight
one, I
trilogy.
get that. I've seen all the Harry Potters. I don't remember that guy from them.
And so we also have a guy in the first scene of the show. There's this big mission where like a guy's trying to stop like a bomb at the airport, and then he fails to stop it. But it turns out that was a training exercise that he fucked up. So now he has to go to Slough House, and so we follow that, and so we follow a few different members of the Slough House. And the show is called Slow Horses, so you can get the name. And so the first season, we have like an overarching story every season. There's I've only seen the first 2, but in the first season, we follow like there's this terrorist group called the Sons of Albion, and they kidnap a Pakistani kid in Britain, and they plan to chop his head off in front of, on like live TV. But then we follow like different members as
Holly Jolly.
we follow as like the Slough House trying to stop them, while also like the main government try to stop them. And we have like interweaving stories. It's a very complex story, but that's like kind of the overarching story in the first season. And then in the second season, we follow like this conspiracy of Russian sleeper agents. It's a really well done TV show. It's like kind of takes the plot of like, like these agents, these of a story we all know of these like spies, but they kind of like humanizes the spies, and it's like more human stories. And the stories are very well thought out and like very complicated. It's a very kind of takes a lot to catch on, but it's a very well done story, and I suggest you go watch it. Especially Beck, who might like that type of show. But
it's on Apple.
it's a very it's on
That's
Apple
sad.
TV.
We just canceled our Apple TV.
Really?
Yeah.
And then
Really
but the
unfortunate.
way they film these shows really fast because like the end of each season they have like a upcoming reel for the next season. So the way they film these, like it's like 6 episodes a season. I kind of contributed to kind of like having like a good bag of chips, like a very quick kind of like thing you can feast on that's very well done and thought out. And it's a really enjoyable show. I suggest people watch it. And it's kind of like it kind of feels like an anthology, even though it's a connected show. It does feel like anthology type of thing, where it's like you can just kind of quickly have it, and like it's a very enjoyable thing. I'm using this as a connection. While it's a season, can be a chip bag. You know what's a good thing that can just be a chip that you can just quickly eat? What if? Because you can randomly watch. You can randomly just watch any episode of What If and enjoy
Don't
it.
worry, I watched.
There are
What
8
If.
episodes right now. I have watched all of it.
I have also watched all of them.
I have watched 1 episode of the new season because I was like,
so you don't get to talk about it because I only have
This
2 things to
season
talk about, and What If is one of them.
Kind of mid.
I liked some of the episodes. I thought,
That's what I'm saying. I like some of it, but it's not all good.
Yeah.
so talk about What If.
I think he should talk about it because he's only has 2 things anyway.
Yeah. All right.
I only watched the Peter Quill episode.
Okay. Let me go bring up the list of episodes. So What If was one of the shows that I watched when it came out originally, and I was an advocate for it. I said, this show is pretty good. I like What If. I like the animation style, even though it's kind of controversial. And I think that it's pretty interesting. This time around, I still think it's fairly interesting. I do like the concepts that they go with for some of the episodes.
Yeah.
The animation style looks a little bit worse. I feel like they might have used AI in a little bit of it.
Yeah, it definitely. There's some stuff that feels really weird. It does not feel like animation. It looks like it's just generated.
It looks like definitely around the faces when they're talking on close-ups. I noticed it a lot when they have Nebula talking. Because Nebula's face is a little weird anyway, so I guess. But let's go through all the episodes that are out right now, and we'll talk about each of them. Episode 1. What if Nebula joined the Nova Corps? The Nova Corps is like the
I started watching that and I'm like, this is just Blade Runner.
I saw the first 10 minutes. I'm like, this is literally they're just trying to do a Blade Runner.
Don't worry, they do that a couple more times where they just make another movie.
It wasn't bad.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So I feel like Captain Carter gets really used a lot in this.
We'll get to Captain Carter.
We'll get to that.
She'll
You
have
can
her
wait.
turn.
I do not get why they're trying to do that.
But the first one was okay. Nebula's a good character to watch. They have Howard the Duck in it, as they do with the What If episodes.
Yep.
They have.
I saw the first like few minutes of that one. And I was like, I thought I'm not that interested in Nebula as a character, so I didn't continue watching it.
I like Nebula as a character. I do think she's severely underutilized, even considering she was one of Snap survivors. I don't know. It's good to see Nebula, but that one, it was iffy. It was okay. Like that one wasn't bad. It was just okay. The next episode, What If Peter Quill Attacked Earth's Mightiest Heroes? This one's interesting. It has an interesting premise. They have to establish the Avengers in 1988. There's not very many heroes then. Who do they have? So they pull some interesting picks. So they have
Pym.
They have Hank Pym. They have what's his face from Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Oh, the scientist guy?
Yeah, him.
Giant Goliath.
Yeah, the guy that grows big. He's
Goliath,
in it. They have Bucky, but he's mind controlled by the Russians.
Yep.
They have Howard Stark.
Yep.
They have
wouldn't they have Captain
Peggy
Marvel?
Carter.
No. They
Peggy
have
Carter.
They have
No, they have like a Kree person. Like a
They don't have a scroll.
No, they have
they have the
Kree.
Yeah, they do have a Kree person. They have the T'Challa's father, and they have Thor.
Yeah.
Which is an interesting team, but I felt like they could have done better than that.
I also thought this story could have, this as being the only one I watched, I thought this story, it was good, but I felt like I wanted maybe to be a little darker in the story because I felt like this story lent itself to a more darker story,
Yeah.
perhaps, because
Yeah.
like I thought like Ego would totally like take over Peter Quill and like he would actually win in this universe, but
Oh yeah,
we do
definitely.
get yeah.
I mean, that's the thing. The bad guy's always going to lose in these, so it kind of makes it predictable.
I know. I'll get back to that later, but I think
Mhm.
I'll get back to that later.
But it being animation does lead to like good fights and stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
What if Happy Hogan Saved Christmas that has cool fight
Yeah.
scenes?
What?
I will say that's
What
So
is the
basi-
story of that one?
Yeah.
so basically. Remember Hammer Tech from Iron Man 2?
Yeah,
He
remember
comes
Hammer?
He does.
He
He always,
God.
He
he
comes
always
back.
comes back.
He comes back and does a Die Hard on Avengers Tower.
Bro, I
And
love
also-
that guy.
And also Maria Hill and Darcy are there. And that's the episode. So now
Yeah.
Happy Hogan is Die Harding, and then he becomes a Purple Hulk.
Is
and
it from
then
that
they have-
scene? Is it that one
Yes,
scene?
it
Oh
is.
my god, bro.
And so then I don't know. It's a good episode. Happy's a fun character.
It's a fun character.
I like Darcy. The animation really helps it. They have all 6 Avengers in it,
Yeah.
which is good. The voice cast is so funny because they have like mostly everybody except
But no,
for
like
except-
Iron Man or
they don't
right?
have Robert Downey Jr., Chris
Yeah.
Evans, or Scarlett Johansson. They have everybody else.
Yep.
Which like it should be easy to get all of them.
yeah.
Well, they cost they cost a lot of
Yeah.
money. The funniest
Yeah.
part about I'll get back to my thoughts on like Black Widow Natasha's voice actor when we get there, like to one where she's more prominent. What if Iron Man crashed in the Grandmaster? Okay, so
Oh,
after the Battle of New York, he doesn't go
he
back
doesn't
to Earth.
get back. Yeah.
He goes to the Grandmaster planet from Ragnarok.
And this one
Yeah.
was originally cut from season 1, right?
Cut from season 1, and this is where the Gamora in the final episode comes from.
Yeah.
It comes from.
Yep.
And considering how important Gamora kind of is, and how she was the one that was taken to go fight Ultron, it's strange that this was a Tony episode.
Yeah. That's I also said that's really strange that they're gonna do it that way.
But they really like to use their characters that are dead.
Yeah.
They really like to do that, which I guess makes sense. You can't make more stuff with them. So I guess that makes sense, but like, I don't know. This episode was fun though. It's good seeing Valkyrie more. Outside of
I enjoyed it. It was very fun.
outside of the Marvels that she's in.
Yeah.
She's in, bro, she has 2 lines in that film.
Okay, she is in that. She is in that
She
movie.
is in that
and-
film, but you could barely
is-
call it a cameo even.
Yeah, but she's
I
kind of
forgot
gay.
she was in that
so,
film.
like, her lines do make her a lesbian, which is kind of interesting.
I completely forgot she's in that film.
Yeah, but the Iron Man one.
Oh.
Okay, next one is a Captain Carter episode. What if Captain Carter fought the Hydra Stomper? So last time we saw Captain Carter in her universe, they found the Hydra Stomper and Steve was still inside of it.
Yep.
My question is, so is this all been like from the entire What If? We've seen a lot of fucking Captain Carter. We saw her in like fucking Multiverse of Madness. Is the question, is in most universes Captain Carter is the norm and Captain America?
No, it's just the same Captain Carter over and over again.
It's the same.
I think
they really like
that's
to you.
the issue with this season.
The Watcher says he's like, I don't usually do sequels, but only one universe has Captain Carter.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
No,
Like that's that's the line he says.
Here's what I think is wrong with this season is that season 1 was really good because every episode was basically standalone. You could tune into any episode and it's fine. And then the last episode just happens to tie everything together. While season 2, it feels more like they're really trying to have a story and build off to it. Like you need to know what happened before, which is you can kind of apply that to the entire MCU. Kind of, where before it was all standalone stuff that you could watch it by itself and it was good, but then it also happened to lead up to something big.
Yeah.
But now they're just trying to build up to something and they're not focusing on the individual part.
Yeah, Like with this episode, it's episode 5 out of 10 episodes. It's supposed to be, I think.
Yeah.
And this episode at the end connects to the overarching plot. But
Yeah.
we'll get to that. So this episode, they fight the Hydra Stomper. Steve Rogers is inside of it. Natasha is like, guys, we got to go to the red room from my movie.
We got to go to the red room for my movie. Remember when that happened?
Yeah,
And
remember
You gotta
still
go to
was
the
Black
Black
good.
Widow that
Widow,
came out in
Black Widow.
2021, the Red Room.
Yeah. At this episode, I was like, is all of the dialogue between Peggy Carter and Natasha Romanoff? Why does everything Natasha Romanoff feel lesbian coded? Oh, that's why. It's the voice of Poison Ivy. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's also like
Yep. So then basically Peggy does her main character talk to Steve Rogers, and then he flies up and destroys the
Red Room. And probably
Self-destructs.
himself. And also all the Black Widow characters that I don't care about.
yeah.
But then at the end of the episode, they're like, wow, guys, we're going to go have a few drinks at the bar. And then there's a big red circle. And then Carter gets sucked into it. And then guess who's on the other side? Medieval
Wanda Maximoff.
Wanda Maximoff, Nick Fury. And they're like, oi, mate, you're here to help us with our problem, mate. And then that's the end of the episode.
You know what?
Yep.
I started watching the medieval one, and I was like kind of confused. Like,
Well, yeah, no duh, you're confused. I'm confused. We'll get back to that
Yeah.
one too.
We'll get back to that one. We have to talk about that.
Next episode, I think this is the best episode of the season.
Is that
Yeah.
the Hello one?
No. The what if Kahori reshaped the world?
That's an original
Oh yeah, that's
character,
a good
right?
episode.
It is
Yeah,
an
I was a
original
little bit
script.
confused about this episode because I'm like, because like this is kind
who
of
the
like really
fuck is
interesting.
Kahori?
It's an original character. It's what's the indigenous tribe? Mohawk, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
the
It said Mohawk, which I'm like, were they trying to say Mojave or?
No, I guess it's just a lesser known.
Yeah,
Yeah, but the episode is pretty much completely in the language.
and it's like in her language and Spanish.
Mhm,
That's kinda
because
fun.
the Spaniards
And
come.
And there's subtitles,
It's her
right?
against the conquistadors. Yep.
Okay.
So basically, this episode is that Odin, like Ragnarok happens early, and the Tesseract gets sent to Earth really early, and
Yep.
creates a little because it's the space stone. It creates a little like
Yeah, because
Roll
it's cracked
inside,
now because like literally he tried to block the sword using the Tesseract, but
Oh.
it sliced through it. And now the energy from the space stone is like going and infecting shit.
I thought this episode was good because of
It was definitely not a bad episode. It was
No.
pretty fun.
the new character was good. How they use the space stone is interesting, considering like how the space stone itself is probably the most underutilized stone aside from like the soul
Yeah.
stone,
Oh yeah.
and I guess reality stone. But like,
Yeah.
But considering
Reality
how long
can be
the
whatever
space,
I want.
considering how long the space stone was around for, it's good to see it like actually being used for what it's
Yeah.
supposed to be used for.
Yeah.
But in this universe, Kahori like creates world peace among like everything. Like she goes up to like Queen Isabella and she's like, "Hey, world peace, please." And then they're like, "Cool." And then Strange Supreme shows up. Hey, yo, vibe check time. That's
I heard you're pretty strong.
Yeah. And then that's the end of that episode. Next one. What if Hela found the 10 rings?
This one is not a bad episode. I have a couple issues with it. Number one,
I don't care about it because I didn't watch Shang-Chi.
Oh, you didn't?
Nope, I haven't seen
it takes place like before Shang-Chi. It takes place like a little bit before it. So like the two people aren't married yet. And it's still like kind of like ancient China. Like he just got his rings almost, it feels like.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, it's basically what if Hela was Thor? So basically, instead of casting Hela into hell, he did the thing with her crown that was like, if she is worthy, she can wear the crown and have her powers. And then she has to go figure it out. And then she trained with the 10 Rings guy, and then she got good at Kung Fu, and then she escaped. And then she ran away to the Wind Lady and the dragons, and she learned Kung Fu from them. And then From there, she became a good person. And then Odin comes down and he's like, because then Heimdall's like, I can no longer see Hela. And Odin's like, oh my god, did these humans kill my daughter? I have to take revenge.
Yeah,
So
after
then
I
he goes
banished her.
down. Yeah. He goes down and then he comes there and then like the 10 Rings guy is there.
Hmm.
And then Hela's also there and she's like, leave this world. And he's like, hell nah. And then they start
Hell
fighting.
no.
And they start fighting, and it's a good fight scene, but Odin should not have lost. If it's like actual MCU Odin, well, it's not MCU Odin, but if it's actually like Marvel Odin, Odin would have won.
Yeah.
Girls can do anything.
then
Boys can do
also-
Nikola.
And then also Hela, to show that she's a good person, she becomes white.
Yo.
She gets her crown, and instead of being a black person, she's now white, which
She
means
is
she's
kind of
good.
whitewashed in this episode.
Hmm.
The
Yeah.
animation style does not lend itself to people with darker skin tones very well.
Yeah. And then she literally becomes bright white, like glowing, and she becomes like
But-
the goddess of.
But it is
Whatever,
it is a
life
cool
now.
fight scene, I will say.
It is a really good fight scene, but Odin should have won.
The next
100%.
episode is
Is this the final
What if
episode?
the
Or the one-
Avengers assembled
today.
in 1652?
1602.
Yep.
And this is
1602.
by far
This one
the-
is so confusing. I
this
don't
is
understand
by far
this
the
episode.
most confusing episode. So basically, remember how Captain Carter got brought to a different world from?
Yeah.
Okay. Also, the Watcher didn't know where she went, and when she got brought to the world, she immediately called for the Watcher because she was like, "What the hell's going on?"
And then the Watcher just found her.
Yeah, and then he found her. That was kind of written out. But basically,
It was just to give us suspense. It was just drama and suspense film.
But okay, so in this universe, all of the heroes of all of the times get jumbled together in 1602. Everyone's wearing fancy dilly mustaches, and they're all British, and it's weird. And I don't even know how to explain this one. Actually,
Okay. Very
I
weird
can
episode.
explain
That
it.
was
I
very
can
conf-
explain it.
okay, I'm just
So
kind of
basically, it's just like modern day MCU and 1602 is mixed together. So all of these people are it's just normal MCU people, except they're all
But like, why?
they're
Is,
all reciting Shakespearean quotation.
but like, the reason that Carter is there is to like, there's like war
then, like,
wormholes, like,
yeah,
being
but then
formed.
she's there. But then like there's some time rifts happening.
But didn't
There's like
Wanda
sucking people in and killing people.
pull her there?
Yeah, Wanda pulled her through to solve the issue. I'm explaining it back.
Okay.
Wanda pulls her through to solve the issue with the time rifts happening. When all of a sudden a big time rift happens and it takes Hela. Hela is like the ruler of this world, but she's
So
like
it's
good.
it like leans into the last episode where she's good.
Yeah, which I don't understand. Why are there so many characters from the previous episodes in this world? Like we have no context for how they got here,
Yeah, like
and like
Purple
in the
Hole-
ending, and
Purple
like the
Hogan.
ending
Yeah, they have
doesn't
Hulk
explain how they got there. The ending of that episode doesn't explain how they got there.
No,
At all. It
so
just doesn't make
basically, they're
sense.
like, the reason this is happening is because there's a future man that's here from the
There's
future.
somebody
You're all
here.
from the future.
Yeah,
And like,
And what-
explanation is that it's Roger, it's Chris Evans.
Roger, while fighting Thanos, accidentally hit the time stone on his gauntlet, causing a portal to happen and merge these two times
You're
together.
fucking with
But
me.
it doesn't.
No,
That's
it.
why it happens.
That's why it happens.
And like the characters that are there and the technology that they have is so weird. Like Tony doesn't have his arc reactor, but like Ant-Man
Like he
can
has this.
Mm.
Yeah, like they can shrink. The Wasp is there, not Wasp. Yellow Jacket is there from the Ant-Man movie.
Oh wait! This is from the original Carter episode. For some reason, in her team up with the Avengers, for some reason the Wasp is in that team up.
True. Yeah.
That's weird.
I don't know why that is. There shouldn't be any reason for that to be the case.
yeah, I was
And
also
then-
confused
Oh,
by
and
this
then there's
episode.
another ending of this episode. After Carter sends everybody home, Watcher was like, well, before she did, Watcher was like, if you do this, you might not be able to leave. And she's like, what type of hero would I be if I didn't? So then she does it, and then she can't leave, and then a portal opens, and she's like, oh my god, Watcher, are you here to tell me that I should have taken your offer? But it turns out it's Strange again, and he's like, I heard you're pretty strong. No, he's like, you won't believe this what I just did. And then,
That's a lot.
Oh, cool.
and then it cuts to be continued in Shakespearean quotation.
So
Yeah.
this is season
God.
3.
No,
Yeah.
No, there's
no,
2 more episodes.
Mhm.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
There's 2 more
Because
episodes.
there's
Oh, it
10
hasn't ended
episodes
yet?
and
But
it's
there-
only episode 8.
But
No,
there
it's
is, there
episode 8.
has,
Oh,
there
wait, I
has
thought
been
that
a
was the
season.
end of the entire show.
No,
there's
we have 2 more episodes.
Oh.
But there's also a season 3 like trailer that came out recently, I think.
Yeah, like
Season
a
3
clip.
trailer?
My question is,
Or
isn't
might-
Stark
that might
supposed to be
just be-
watching his little orb?
What? They might have
What?
just said the wrong name. That
Like
could just
season
be the
1?
next episode.
What do you mean season
But-
1?
Because
Wait,
remember
I
in
was
the
also
ending
confused
of
by this
season 1,
episode
he
because
traps
like
Ultron and
Oh yeah,
Ultron and all that stuff
he-
in his
and
little
he-
ball, and he has to stay in his little ball universe and watch it. Why
Yeah.
is he out of it? Why is he not doing that?
I don't know.
He's got someone else to do
My,
it.
I was confused by this episode because I thought when they meant like different universes, I
Why
thought
is
like they meant
Barbie on
like
top of
time
Ken?
travel, and then you also have different universes merging, and I thought it was like different like I thought the two time
universe thing
periods.
doesn't make any sense because they have the Hela.
They
And
don't
they have-
explain why the other universes are in this, and I
Yeah,
don't
and
understand
they have
why.
Hulk, and they have the Hulk Happy Hogan, and that. Well, I guess those are the only 2 they have, but that just makes it even more confusing.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
it sounded like the team up that they would do at the end of season. You know?
Yeah, it's
No,
really weird.
I think the
The
team
best
up
part
they're
of the
gonna have at the
episode
end-
is when the best part of the episode is when Loki takes off his head and recites Shakespearean quotation,
Loki is in this episode. He is fun. It is Tom Hiddleston, which is cool.
and he does recite Shakespearean
Yeah,
quotation.
Thor is the main villain in this episode, which is weird. But
Yeah.
but I think the team up for the last end, I think it's going to be the that we probably
What?
young Quill or
Probably.
or Hank Pym.
No, it's 100% young Quill.
Yeah,
No, it's young Quill.
Hulk Hogan, maybe Gamora, maybe Tony, maybe neither.
Hi,
No,
Tony.
the first episode's definitely Gamora.
Mhm.
What about
Because it showed the ending where she has like she got the arrow thing and
Yeah.
she's like all teamed up,
Oh, yeah.
new Guardians.
Well, yeah.
what
She's
about
definitely
And
gonna
then I think Carter, Kahori, and then Hela. I think is what the team up's going to be.
definitely.
what about
Yeah.
Nebula? Or
That-
I
yeah,
don't.
That's
what
what he
we
meant when he
just
said Gamora.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Oh,
Okay.
no, yeah.
So that's, I mean, it sounds like a good show, but sometimes, yeah, I feel like some episodes are kind of like, they don't really know what to do with some of the.
Some of them are definitely either they made another movie, like for the Hulk Hogan one, or the Neb, or they're just like, what if we made the same movie but again? So like the Peter Quill one is just Guardians 2, or the Captain Carter one is just Black
Yeah.
Widow again.
Yeah.
Mhm. I heard it was
Which, I
more
mean, it
Winter
sounds
Soldier than-
good.
It's both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it
It's
sounds good,
fun,
but some
yeah.
of it, I feel like they also have, they shouldn't try to connect these stories that much. I feel like they
That's
should.
exactly what I said. You're just repeating what I said. My entire monologue on how this
Yeah.
reflects on the MCU
Yeah.
in whole.
Mhm.
I'm just recapping.
I'm just
Nikola. No
waiting
need to
for
get-
them to tie it into the actual MCU, and I don't know why it is.
I don't want them
I don't
to
think
do
they
that.
should. I don't think
I don't
they
want them
should.
to either. I'm just waiting for them to.
Yeah.
And but
Yeah.
I mean, what does it mean? Does it? Well, Captain Carter was in Multiverse of Madness, so
Yeah, but like having like the Watcher like at
Yeah.
all. I don't know.
They
Yeah.
have had like the Watchers in Volume 2, but I don't think that counted.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Although I'm gonna say some things that I do really like about the show. The art style is unique.
Yep.
I hope it gets a little bit better.
Yeah.
But it being animated.
This season was a
itself
stark drop in animation quality.
Yeah, but it does lead to some good fight scenes. They have the fight scenes with Carter are nice. It's good to see like Captain America works really well in animation.
Yeah.
Like it just lends itself better. I like whenever they do like the extreme long shots that the Watcher is like in the background. I think those are cool.
Yep. Those are always awesome scenes.
Well, let's
and then just concepts are cool.
Cool.
well, let's move on.
I need to go to the bathroom, so you guys talk about something that
Okay,
I don't.
I can start talking about what I've been watching, I guess.
Great. Grand Tour. I can't wait.
We can start with that. So I already did that. I guess next thing we can talk about. Oh, I briefly talked about something. I said when talking about how just fetch quests. I watched the final episode of a certain show that
Emily
while
in
I was
Paris.
watching it, I was commenting. No, I was commenting. This feels very bad writing. It's called Reacher. or like The Reacher.
Oh, I've seen so
Like,
much
it's on Amazon
advertising
Prime.
for it.
I've seen that. My parents like it.
Yeah, my parents also like it. But I was watching the episode. This man pulls out everything from his ass. They're sitting. Scenes are like this. They sit down on a table and they're like, "Okay, we need to figure out who did this. Wait a minute. This guy's name looks like this person, and he appears in this photo. Do we have anything else on this guy?" Then all of a sudden, he reaches underneath his seat and pulls out a massive stack of files that is just everything on this person, just because he just happens to have it where he's sitting.
Do you not
And in the
keep detailed files underneath your chair?
Nikola,
I'm
I have
looking
a
at it.
deep file of you right here, you know?
All your
And
Discord
all the
chat
dialogue
logs.
is so. All the dialogue is also so forced because they have a set. They know what they want to achieve in the scene, and they just brute force it out. They cut out they just cut out anything that would make it feel like a real conversation, and it's more just like a sequence of.
Are you sure about that? I have a file with you right here that says you
Alright, and then
have
another thing I
weapons on
said
you
is-
all the time.
Is I don't watch anime, and that's a small lie because I've watched one anime in the past 5 years,
Let's go.
and that would be
Sword Art Online.
season 4 because I saw that's on Netflix of Demon Slayer because I was always like,
So
oh,
you
that has good
only watched
animation.
season 4, not season 4.
No, I've watched all of
Oh, you
it. No,
watched
I've
all of
watched
Demon
all of
Slayer.
it. I just learned that it's out, so I watched like the first 3 episodes of it,
Wow.
and it's like,
Cool.
yeah, animation is good. It's
Nikola,
fine.
what's your opinion on the fact that none of them do magic except for the vampires?
What?
Okay.
That's the longest silence in podcast history.
Uh-huh. I didn't even cough during that.
Wow.
All right. I watched
yeah.
a couple other things. I watched The Chemist. This is the Brie Larson cooking show.
Lessons of
where
chemistry.
he's like-
It's lessons
she's
of
like-
chemistry.
Yeah, she's mildly autistic. And
Okay, I'm gonna get
it's a
some
very
stuff.
weird show. I saw that she was rowing in the intro, and I'm like, oh, that
Fuck,
might
I
be
have to
interesting.
watch that.
I was like, oh my god, that's interesting. And then I watched a couple like that entire episode. She did not row any other time in that episode. Then I came back the next day when my parents were still watching it, and I saw she was rowing again. So
And you're like, fuck, I need to watch this now.
I don't know. It's an interesting show, and maybe
What's
it's
it about?
good. Basically, it takes place in like the 1920s, 30s, and this chemist, but because she's a woman, she can't be a chemist. But then she gets to go on this radio show, and she's supposed to be a cook. Like she's supposed to be cooking, like a housewife cooking for this cooking channel. But she turns it into chemistry and teaches people and empowers women. So it's supposed to be like a good film. I don't know. It's fine. It's decent. Other things I watched. I watched The Ballerina on Netflix.
Wait, Nikola.
It's this.
Nikola. Wait, Nikola.
Yeah.
Is it based on a true story or not?
What is?
The cooking.
I have no clue.
Okay, yeah. Because I was confused. Because it feels shot like it's a true story, but I don't think it is.
Other thing I watched is Ballerina on Netflix. It's this like Korean film that's like basically this woman, this girl, she has a roommate. Her roommate kills herself, and she's like, how could she have done this? But then there's clues that leads her to find out that the Korean, like basically Korean mafia has set up like exploitation of women, and then she goes through and dismantles the entire mafia by killing all of them.
You know, I do that like once a month. You know, my
Another
free
thing I
pastime
just
is on
watched
the Korean
was
upload.
called like Maestro. Maestro?
Maestro.
Maestro. It was really
Maestro.
weird. I don't understand what happened. It probably
It's
did not
a
help that I wasn't
Leonard
paying attention.
Bernstein biopic.
Yeah. I was not paying attention really at all because it was really boring. But it looked good. My mom liked it. Last couple things I watched was The Grand
Peak
Tour. I finished
film
season 1
critic.
and I'm like halfway through season 2. It's still fun. If it's still funny, it's still good. And finally, most of us can talk about this one. It's a really good film. Everybody's talking about it. It's called
The poison boat.
Saltburn.
Only two of us can talk about it, Nikola.
I
All right.
was like, maybe I should watch this. Then I remembered how Uri described it. And I'm like, I don't want to see this.
Which one was
it's a
Saltburn?
It is a.
It's the one.
It's the British people.
okay. It's a very weird film. It's good.
It is
I
very
remember one
much the
thing
type
about
of
it.
film that will win an. It's very much a type of film that will definitely win awards because it's a really good cinematography, really good shots, really good
Yeah.
story.
The shots they have are great in the film.
It is a
But
good movie.
It's a good
There are
movie.
some very weird scenes.
Yes,
and
we know.
I don't know if you know this. The grave scene. You know the grave scene, right?
Where he fucks the grave. Yeah.
What the? Oh,
That
yeah,
was improv. That was not scripted. He did that on his own.
The actor was like, I have to fuck this grave.
Yes,
You-
he came up with
you
that
kidding
on
me?
his own.
He was like, guy.
I'm not kidding.
No, but
That was improv.
Of course.
Nicola has
Of
said a
course,
lot of
of course.
misinformation before. I'm double checking this.
No, that one. This was
Okay, I'm
one thing
gonna
I'm
check
pretty
this.
sure it's true.
Let's see.
It was improvised.
Yeah.
So true.
There's a couple other
Aiden,
weird
alright,
scenes.
Nicola, when you were watching this film, did your family members ever walk in and be like, "What the fuck are you watching?"
Oh, I watched it with my family
Watch it with his family, Beck.
on the big screen.
I cannot imagine
the
a
big
more
screen.
awkward
On the
situation.
theater.
He saw the main character eating period blood with his whole family.
I'm
Yeah.
eating
We
right
were
now,
all-
Aubrey. Please do not say that.
Or licking his roommate's
Come
semen
bathwater.
off the
What a cool movie.
bathtub floor. So
Yeah,
there's some really
yeah.
weird scenes. But
Yeah,
overall, other than those scenes, it's pretty good.
yeah.
No. I
There's a
remember
couple stuff.
when I was putting together the ranking list we're doing for next episode. I
Yeah.
googled Saltburn. It goes Saltburn movie, Saltburn bathtub scene is the third result.
Oh, great.
Yeah, because there's some really weird scenes, and they definitely stick with you. But overall, it's a really good movie. It's
It's a
actually a
very
really good
interesting
movie.
movie. I'm not quite in love with the ending of the movie, but it's interesting.
I mean, it's one of those movies where like they set it up in the beginning that you think you know what's happening, but then towards the end of it, the twist happens, and like you definitely predict the twist, but you
Yeah.
still it's still unexpected. It's not that like you know
It's
it's
one
gonna
of-
happen and you predict it, but it's like you didn't want it to be true.
It's one of those endings where the guy kind of explains his whole motivation and he tells you what he did throughout the whole movie. Which I mean, it's not that's a very common movie trope. But I think in my personal opinion, I would have liked the movie if he hadn't done that. So we kind of more ambiguous of what happened throughout the movie. But
I mean, some stuff is still pretty ambiguous, but
yeah. And yeah. I thought it's a very interesting movie.
overall, it's a very good movie. It's definitely gonna win
cinematic.
awards.
Yeah. But
It's
yeah.
like Parasite for British people.
Yeah. And yeah. What else, Nikola, have you watched, or is that it?
That's it. That's my list.
Okay. Aiden, you had one more thing?
I have one more thing. Beck, do you want to cover what you watched
No.
before I cover what I
Mine is
watched?
pretty long. I want to give it breathing room. You go.
Okay, so Uri, do we want to talk about it now or later?
We can talk about it now.
Okay. One of the best Rick and Morty episodes in so long. I think maybe like top 5 episodes.
It was really good.
Plot heavy or just like good in general?
Kind of, but not really.
Yeah, that's kind of the plot twist, I guess. So basically what it is, it starts out Rick and Morty are like hanging out at a horror land, whatever, and some guy comes up, he's like, hey, you want something scarier? And then they go to a Denny's. So then they're at Denny's and they're like, wow, this isn't scary, this is Denny's. And then one guy's like, hey, do you want the hole? It's in the bathroom. What, the hole? So then they go into the bathroom and there's this thing called the hole. And if you go in the hole, it like shows your deepest, darkest fears and you have to overcome them. And it's kind of like a symbiotic relationship. If you fear, then you're not scared anymore. Very cool, very cool. So then Morty jumps in the hole and it's very scary and Rick comes in and saves him and he pulls him out. And then they get home and then Diane shows up and it's like, what?
What? And they're like, we're still in the hole.
Well, yeah, we're still in the hole. If Diane is here, who's been erased from all dimensions.
Yeah.
we're still in the hole.
Yeah.
And
Which is like, yeah, it's obvious we're still in the hole. But are they?
Ooh.
Oh, so it's like it's like the Finn "Don't Open Your Eyes" episode,
A little bit.
where it's like
and,
pretty
Also,
fucked up.
how have you seen Egress?
Oh, I just know that episode.
Oh, okay.
so continue, Aiden.
So basically, the whole episode is now like Rick wants to be with Diane, obviously, and Rick is like, we're probably still in the hole, Morty, because you don't think that you're important enough. Boom, and Morty's like, what the hell, man? It's Diane. It obviously involves you. And so basically, they do their thing, and Morty's like, man, Rick is dying. Look at his face. He looks like he's dying because it's eating off of his soul or whatever. So he goes back to the Denny's, and the guy that brought him there, he's like, hey, what the hell? And he's like, well, you both have stuff to do. You need attention or something. And then he does fear stuff. And then Rick finally comes around and he's like, okay, Diane isn't real. I'm going to go help Morty. And then they help Morty, and then they get out of the hole.
So they were in
But
the
did
hole the
they?
entire time, right?
They were in the hole the entire time, yeah.
But
So
did
the
they
Diane
actually
plot
get
twist
out of the hole?
was not real. But then they weren't actually out of the hole. They were still in the hole again.
The very
But then
Their
they get
fear.
out. But then
And
they
then they
get out.
get out.
But then it's in the
Their-
hole.
And
Their
then,
But then they get
fear
out.
is
then
not
they get
being
out.
able to
And they
leave
have
the
a
hole.
montage of Morty growing old and having a great time in his life with Rick and his family. And then he realizes that he's going to look like his dad when he's older. And they're still in the hole.
Still in the hole. Still in the hole.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe the hole is the friends we made along the way.
I swear,
And
this
then-
is like that one episode of Black Mirror where the guy's like in the horror game, and then it turns out he was in the game the entire time. Remember?
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
But
But
then
we know they're in the hole the entire time.
But you kind of expect that. That's not really the twist of the story.
No.
But
There's
then
more.
there's more.
There's more. Because Morty then realized, like, they're talking to each other, and Rick is like, Morty, I value you, and you're important to me. And Morty's like,
We're still in the hole.
what?
And-
You would never say that. And he's like, wait, that's my biggest fear. And then Morty wakes up by himself in this 2-foot hole under the ground. It's completely different to how we've seen the hole before. And Rick is like looking down. He's like, hey, buddy, how was the hole? The plot twist was that Rick never went into the hole with him.
That's
But
I
it-
kinda-
it wa- it
I
was
get
a-
that.
It was about Maury's need for like feelings of inadequacy and
I
attention.
guess
And this
And
whole
you're right.
episode was just a dissection of Morty.
Yeah, I guess that
Which at
from the
first you can
beginning.
say it's something of a cheap story because like, oh, it's a lot of plot development with Rick. But no, I think it's deeper because it's a lot more connection with Morty and
Mhm.
it's more thematic of the relationship and their story thus far. And I would say they finally get out of the hole, and then like he says he admits to his fear. I fear that you would never actually say that you value me. And then he says there's like some scary stuff in there. Diane is in there, and he's all like, he thinks about it. But then they go out of Denny's. But then Rick comes back. He's about to jump into the hole because he might have Diane. But then he decides not to, and he puts a picture of Morty on the board where it says people went into the hole. And then that's the final shot of the season. What's the post-credit scene?
Mr. Poopy Butthole, and he's like, hey, it's me, Mr. Poopy Butthole. That was a good season finale, am I right? Hey, look at this, I got a portal gun. And then he shoots the portal gun, and he goes into a universe where he still is with his wife and child, and then he throws the other pee-pee-poo-poo butthole into the portal, and now he's sitting in where he shouldn't be.
So it's
Yeah.
Spider-Verse.
Yep.
And so into the poopy verse, yes. But I say I love this episode. This episode was exactly what I wanted in the season finale. Like we got like the really good story in Unmore where he kills the evil Rick Prime.
Yeah.
But then we finally get kind of this closure. It's not like a very plot heavy episode, but it's more like emotionally heavy. And it was like the perfect send off to the season. It's hyping me up for what happens next. And I think I'm really excited for where the next season goes from here. They did what I needed them to do. Cause like in the episodes between the mid season and this one, they've been kind of rocky with like the Numericons and the Wet Quad American Summer.
Yeah.
But this is exactly what I wanted in their finale. I think it might be my second, maybe third or second favorite finale. First, obviously, my favorite finale, season 5 finale with the Evil Morty. That's my favorite finale episode of the show because like, and then maybe the wedding one in season 2, but then this one definitely is a very a very solid one, and it really builds on their relationship. I don't know, Aiden, what do you think?
I don't know. This is the first time though that I've tried recommending that people continue to watch Rick and Morty again. Like before, it was like, yeah, you've seen seasons 1 and 2. That's fine. You should maybe watch season 3. No further than that. A few handful episodes in like season 5 and 4, but whatever. You're fine where you are. But now it's like, no, you should probably watch up to season 7 now because season 7 has been really good.
Yeah. And now that the voice actors, I would say, under perspective of the whole season, it was rocky in the beginning, but then we got like this really good stretch of That's a Morte and Unmoritican and like Rick Fending Your Mort. That was really good. We got a little, not the greatest episodes in like the later half, but then we pull off with a really solid like last episode. So it's been a good season. The voice actors as they went along have been better. Next season is going to be amazing.
I think partially also the final episodes hadn't been like fully animated yet, so they were probably able to add lib some stuff in they needed to.
Yeah, which allows for a better next season probably start. I would say overall rankings, maybe season 2 and then season 1, season 3, then season 7, maybe. That's and then
I mean it's definitely in. I think it's definitely up there. Yeah.
Yeah. It's in. I think it's not a caliber of season 1 or 2, but it's pretty good. It's pretty up there. It's definitely better than I guess the second half of the show. 6,
yep.
Yeah. But I think it's been a solid season. I think I can confidently say the show, we don't need Justin Roiland anymore. We're done with him finally, and I'm excited for season 8.
Great.
So now Beck gets to talk about what Scavenger's
I have
Reign.
one more thing. I do have one more thing.
All right, what is it? Aiden?
Wow.
Before the podcast, I realized I had watched nothing except for What If and the one episode of Rick and Morty. So I was like, what's a show that I can watch that I've been wanting to watch that I could talk about? And I was like, oh yeah, a new stop motion Pokemon show came out.
Pokemon Concierge.
I did watch Pokemon Concierge.
What the fuck is Pokemon Concierge?
This girl.
Hey, let me pull up an image of it.
This woman named Haru goes to be a concierge at this Pokemon resort, and there's 4 episodes, and it's just her on the resort doing things.
And it's this stop motion style.
Yeah. Did you watch it, Beck?
No, I just saw the trailers for it and I was like, wait, this is actually going to be good.
It was good. I don't think they can do any more with it than this. It doesn't really lend itself to being more than what it is, but it's very cute. All the puppets for all the characters are very nice looking. All the Pokemon are very cute looking. Like the Pikachus that they have are just like adorable, and they're just like really little furry guys. Like the fur, it's pretty cool, and the Snorlax is really fluffy.
Yeah. I mean,
it's not.
I've watched like a majority of the Pokemon anime.
Yeah.
So I'm like wondering if like what's like the style of this show? Is it like it's like a hotel for Pokemon, right?
I mean, no, it's just like an island that they hang out on, and there's like 4 characters that aren't Pokemon. And they're barely in it.
Is it like just anthology? It's like them just hanging out on this island. There's no like plot.
I mean, there's like kind of a plot. Like episode 1 connects to episode 2. Then what happens in episode 2 is that the main character gets a Psyduck, and now there's a Psyduck in the other episode.
Psyduck.
Yeah, pretty much. But it was just a cute little show. I'd recommend checking it out. It's only like an hour, 20 minutes long. Less than an hour even to finish it, because credits make up a majority
they're each like
of it.
10-minute episodes?
Yeah, they say they're like from like 14 to 20, but like
there's only
5
4
minutes
episodes. Wow.
Yeah, but like 5 minutes of it is credits because of all like the dubbing and stuff. But it's nice. It's a nice little cute cozy show.
All right. Do I get to move on to me now?
Sure, you can.
Yeah,
can
Beck,
talk
you have
about-
6 minutes.
I am taking way more than 6 minutes. I hope you know that.
Well, no, because the movie in the back is over, so you gotta hurry up.
All right. So I first want to talk about my digital art spectrum final. So
What?
I
Love to hear.
am like,
What does
I
that have to
have
do with
to-
films and
since
TV?
as we know, video production doesn't count as visual and performing arts at Pally. The
Oh,
stupidest
yeah.
decision I've seen
Yeah.
in the education system. So I have to take this class called Digital Art Spectrum. And I'm like, I
That's
kind
gonna
of
be me
suck at
senior year.
this. So
Yeah.
going into like my final project,
Except I'll be good at
I
it.
need to get 100% on both this project and the final. So I'm like,
Oh, how did you do that? Why do you need
How are
100%?
you bad at art?
I need that.
It's art. It's
Oh,
a
to get
free
an A.
class. What
no,
are you
bro,
talking
this
about?
teacher, I swear to God, is so strict in the grading. Like
Is
literally,
it Atkinson?
yeah. It's like you
Yeah.
need to like be insanely good. It's like one of those like three or like a B. That's good. That's the average grade. A, you have to do better, which is the stupidest grading
Oh,
system.
I see.
So I'm like, this is hard.
What other
So-
art things is
I should
just
have
like
done
first-
drama. I should have done.
first
I
year.
should have done theater or drama. But also, I
I
actually
don't wanna
know
be
a
a
lot more
freaking
digital
theater.
art now, which is cool.
I don't
Okay.
know.
So yeah,
Like what,
theater
using
kid.
InDesign, Illustrator?
No, literally, digital art spectrum means it's art spectrum, but they threw a couple of digital projects in there.
Oh, I
Um,
see.
So yeah, let me just pull up my final. This is not my final.
Is
This is
plagiarism
my
allowed
final
in this
project. Was like doing this like 3D shading of objects, and
Really?
I'm
A
like,
fucking B?
I did it, and I got the grade back. It was an 85, and I'm like, you know what? Fine, I'll take a B in this class. And then
Actually, I don't know if you've seen my sketchbook, but I'm somewhat of an artist myself.
okay, yeah. So I'm ready to do all of this. We still our teacher would call it like we're just gonna look at other people's art and then critique it. And I'm like, you know what? Fine. It's a 2-hour period. I'll just sit there. I'll sit through it. I'll get a B. I'll be chill. I show up to my final being like, it's okay if I'm late. I'm here. And then our teacher hands out these note packets. And it's like, all right, here's where you take notes. I turn to the second page and I'm like, why does it say Hobie Brown on this page?
What?
Turns out our digital art spectrum final is analyzing Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, a film I have seen
It was
4
made for him.
times. This is my
Oh,
fifth
wow.
time watching the film, and on this final is the highest grade I think I've gotten in this entire class. I got
That's great.
like a 39 out of 40 on this. I went so in depth talking about the frame
You
rate
didn't get a perfect
and
score.
like the
Wow,
I
Beck.
didn't
You
even
got
get a
lucky.
perfect score. No, like it's like there's the lines for notes on the front page. I went to the back page and like covered that talking about this film. And
Wow,
literally
Mac,
at the
you
end,
got-
she literally just skips. Like you know when Miles is like, "Nah, I gotta go home. I'm gonna do my own
Nah,
thing."
I'm gonna do my own thing.
She literally
No, not in the-
after
not in the-
that part,
not in the
she was
digital
like,
version.
"Oh, we have 10 minutes left in the period," and she just skips like everything after that. She skips to the Gwen talking with her dad scene, then she skips to Miles being tied up. She just jumps around the entire ending. So if you had not seen this film, you were so confused.
Oh.
Yeah. But yeah, I did watch Across the Spider-Verse again for my final.
So the lords of the school
I
system,
swear.
they favored you.
I literally saw that we were watching Across Spider-Verse. I'm like, I've aced this final. I've aced this final. This is one of my favorite films of all time. I
Yeah.
can analyze this like in my sleep. But yeah, that was one of my things. Next thing I watched, we are gonna end the series of me talking about Scavenger's Reign because I finally finished it.
Finally.
Let's
I
go.
don't want to hear about this.
Oh, okay. I'll skip through it. We got to the ending. So the robot that's been slowly gaining humanity got like completely taken over by the moss and is now reproducing mini robots that are made out of moss. We had like these like
Naturally.
this trio of like other people land to try to like steal resources. One of them died, the other one betrayed one of them and just left the ship and left one of the guys stranded there. So the one who landed stole the ship and now they're all trapped here with no escape, so they build a new life here. And we actually see all the like the separate groups now all finally like interacting with each other, which is cool. Seeing each other for the first time. Overall, it's an insanely good show. Describing it like this is not a very good way to experience the story. So I recommend you actually watch this.
I saw some lists that describe this show as like the best show of 2023.
It is probably. I need to add it to the list. Oh wait. I need to add it to the ranking for next week.
Yeah, I have the list open. What's it called again?
Scavenger's Reign.
It's a show?
No, I already added it. Wait. I did. It's already added there. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah. So that
sounds really good.
I literally remember I was scrolling through YouTube Shorts and I saw a podcast clip that was literally like exactly like ours, and it was talking about Scavenger Reign. And I actually I never comment on YouTube videos. I comment on that one saying such a fire show.
Wow.
And then they followed us back.
I did on my This Age Right channel.
We have to coordinate a response to that podcast and make a mega podcast.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's an 8-person podcast talking about Scavenger's Reign only. All right.
Yeah, you won't know who talks in that episode.
Next thing I watched, also about space, WALL-E.
Wow.
Yeah, I rewatched WALL-E. And the thing that's surprising to me is there's 40 minutes of this film that is literally just silent robots talking to each other in one word, and it's still insanely engaging.
It's a very impressive feat of movie making.
Overall, I still think it is probably
when Disney actually cared about their movies.
One of the
and I think actually
it's in the top 3 best Pixar films.
Really?
Yeah.
It's WALL-E, yes, of course it
I put it in my top 10, not my top 3.
Well, okay, what Pixar lineup beats WALL-E in your opinion?
Up.
I don't know. I
Toy
like
Story
WALL-E.
3.
Yeah, Toy Story 3.
I don't think
Incredibles.
is not strong all the way
Toy
through.
Story
Finding Nemo.
1.
Finding Nemo.
Pretty not Nemo. I don't like
I
Nemo.
do not like Nemo
I like
that
Nemo.
much, but I also haven't rewatched it recently.
Ratatouille is
Incredibles.
To me, the only ones that can probably beat it is Incredibles,
Toy Story 3.
Toy Story 3.
Inside Out probably beats it. Does it?
Inside Out's good. I don't think it beats WALL-E though.
Yeah, maybe not.
I think my top 3 Pixar movies are WALL-E, Up, and Toy Story 3.
WALL-E is definitely top 3.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think. Yeah, the
Not
only
for
ones
me,
that
I
could
guess.
probably
Turning Red. No.
Turning Red's fun. I like Turning Red.
Lightyear. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Did not care for it.
Luca.
But yeah, Luca, I thought it was just good, just good film. Good film. It doesn't stand with Pixar's best though.
Really?
Okay. Next thing I watched. I'm gonna talk
How
about
many
this.
things?
I have 2 more things.
Okay.
Okay. Do any of you guys know what Hunter x Hunter is?
Vaguely.
Yes.
It's this
Vaguely,
anime.
exactly.
Yes, it is.
Beck, are you just an anime watcher now?
Literally,
I know.
I'm just
he's
I'm
cringe.
rewatching just one season of the show. Now,
So he's cringe?
okay, so Hunter x Hunter. I'm not going to talk about the entire show, mostly because I'm just rewatching this because I saw cool clips and I wanted to rewatch it. But this
Did it
one,
remind you that it was better than the Owl House?
It is
while
not,
watching
bro.
clips of-
Okay, so Hunter x Hunter. this arc of Hunter x Hunter, which literally spans what's 136 minus 72. It spans 64 episodes, each a half hour. So this one arc is 32 hours in total. So it's a lot. Basically, the arc is you have these ants. And these ants have this cool ability where whatever they eat, they pass on the genes of that to like their offspring. And so they're like very dangerous, but they're also like the size of ant. So they can't really like eat anything too dangerous. But one mutates to be able to like eat humans. So it starts eating humans, and then now they're like insanely hard to fight because they're humans mixed with like all these properties of ants. So and like other animals they eat, so they're insanely strong. And then eventually they start eating like I don't know how to describe the magic system in this, but like they start eating like very powerful humans that have these powerful abilities, and they just start like exponentially growing in power and becoming like more terrifying along the way. And
Ants?
what?
These ants?
Okay, yeah, but now they're like the size of humans because they've eaten so many humans, and they talk like humans and all that. But yeah, it's an insanely good arc. But it is like 32 hours to watch all of it, which is an insane time commitment. But I do think
just spend 4 extra hours to watch Adventure Time.
really. Wait,
It's only 36.
that is actually crazy to me because I'm gonna rewatch this arc before I finish Adventure Time.
Jesus Christ.
But
So
for some
cringe.
reason, I kind of think it earns those 32 hours because it is insanely
I'm actually gonna
good.
finish Adventure Time just to spite Beck now.
Yeah.
Please don't do that because it's gonna
Be
it's
it
gonna-
revenge on how he said he was going to watch The Sopranos and then never did.
Okay, no. I still can watch The Sopranos sometime in my life, and I will.
Like, I'm also really disappointed you never watched The Bear after episode 1.
Okay, guys, here's what you're asking me to watch. You're asking me to watch The Sopranos, The Bear, Adventure Time, re-edit my entire BoJack video, make a short film. I don't have that much time, bro. I have to do college
don't need to
still. I have like
can do it at the
write
same
2
time.
more 500-word essays.
Wow.
Beck, edit while watching.
Okay,
Yeah,
but it's
exactly.
hard.
So true.
I'll do that with Adventure Time, but like I don't want to like
No.
you want if you need
You
to
can do it with other shows.
do you need Adventure Time to have my full focus? There's
Undivided
1
attention.
hour at night, every night when I'm just laying in bed watching my phone. That's the one time you get my full focus, and that's been Scavenger's Reign time so far, so it has freed up.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
So I can maybe get to
Wait,
like
Beck, did Scavenger's Reign come out on Sundays?
no, it just like I didn't watch it until I think it all dropped at one time, and it took me a while to finish all of it.
Because when I think of undivided attention on weekends, I think of the HBO Sundays, you know?
Yeah.
Where,
Succession,
their shows came out on
Barry.
Perry,
Yeah.
yeah. The White Lotus, Last of Us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean those had undivided attention just because like I cared about them because it was multiple seasons in.
Yeah.
We
we also had a podcast.
yeah, so maybe I
About-
don't rewatch Hunter x Hunter and I try to actually finish something else. Like for me,
But
like
maybe.
I want to rewatch this so bad, but every time I do, I'm like, I could be watching a new show and then that
I could be watching Adventure Time.
Yeah, no, it's hard for me to rewatch those shows and movies because it's hard to justify them. Like I can just be
Hunter
watching
x Hunter's
something new.
I mean, it's kind of hard, but it kind of Hunter x Hunter does sound cool. You know,
Yeah.
ants eating.
I mean, it is like I would call it second best anime I've ever watched, maybe first. Yeah.
And then Beck, you gotta tell that to the person who you're interviewing for your first best anime. It's just like, yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
your animated TV show. Like,
I did not say that line. I made myself. I tried to make it very. I tried to not bring that up at all.
Are you sure?
Okay.
What if you
Okay.
did though? Secret.
No. Okay. Second thing. This is gonna be my big talk.
No,
talk.
this is your big talk.
This is
Jesus
my big
Christ.
talk.
This is your big fucking
This is
talk.
my big talk.
Beck,
Guys,
I want to go play video games.
I finished High School Musical, the musical,
The musical,
series.
the series.
Oh my
I
god,
did-
we do not need to talk
I
about
need
this.
to talk about this show, bro.
No,
You-
Beck, I don't want to
Beck.
hear about the High School Musical.
Save
The
it for
musical,
next
the
Friday.
series.
Leave the viewers in suspense for next
Please.
Friday.
No. Okay, so you
Make
guys,
it a YouTube short.
you guys may
Make it a
think
YouTube story.
maybe this
Leave it for the clip
maybe
channel.
this show is not very good, but
Yeah, that's
it's
what
How
I
many
was
seasons
saying.
is it?
documentary.
3.
So
Oh wow.
What?
Matt's supposed to make it good.
Is
okay.
that your thoughts on it? Can that be all your thoughts on it?
you guys know nothing. I need to explain the show to you. Okay.
I watched the first season.
Okay, good. So this was one of the first original shows for Disney Plus. Came out around the tail end of 2019. This show follows season 1. There is this woman, and she was an extra in the original High School Musical, in character, not in like real life. Everything's fictional. So she goes to the original school where they filmed High School Musical, and it's like, we're gonna put on a production of High School Musical, a musical, like in the theater department. So that's what season 1 follows, and then it basically all the drama kids throughout the entire show as they do that. And then over each like different season, there's 4 seasons, they do a different musical. So season 2 they do
But
Beauty.
they don't even do more High School Musical plays.
Season 2 they do Beauty and the Beast.
That's not even High School Musical.
And then season 3 they do Frozen. And then season 4 they do High School Musical 3.
Wow.
Okay.
Why not 2, the good one?
Yeah, isn't 2 the one that people like?
Yeah,
Because that one
they
has
like baited everyone in season 2 being like, yeah, we're gonna do High School Musical 2, but then they didn't. Because a rival school was doing Beauty and the or no. It was like
What?
the rival school was like, oh, are you gonna do High School Musical 2? What if you do a real movie? Like, and they're like, okay, we're gonna do
like
Beauty
High
and the
School
Beast.
Musical 2. What makes it not a real movie? The fact that it was aired for television?
I don't know. It was like the musical theater or
A plot
the drama
requirement.
teacher was like, I need to impress this other guy who's the drama teacher for the other school.
I got. So Beck, what's your big talk? Is that it?
No, there's more. I have a list of notes just about what I want to talk about the show.
Okay, fine. Bring it to us.
Okay. Now, as you guys know, like it's like called High School Musical, the musical, the series. So over each season, it like got more popular. So they were able to actually get like the original like stars of the original movies.
They got Zac
They
Efron.
didn't.
They did not.
So
They couldn't.
season
they can't.
1, they got the guy that
Sharpay's brother.
Sharpay's brother. Yeah, they got that guy.
Okay, he's cool. I like Sharpay's
Season
brother.
2, they didn't get anyone new. Season 3, they got the guy that plays Troy's best friend.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And then for
Aiden, at this point, they cannot get Zac Efron. He's like a real actor
Yeah.
now, so they
and
can't
then
get him.
season
Did they,
4,
can they
they got they brought back Ryan, they brought back Chad, and they got the Miss Darbus
Did they get-
actor, and then they got the girl that plays
Did they
Gabrielle.
get Sharpay?
They did not get Sharpay.
what is she doing? She doesn't do anything. She
Okay.
just plays Candace.
And then
Yeah.
we got Gabrielle's friend, and then we got the dad of Troy from the original movie. He's also back. So for season 4, they got like all the obscure side characters they could.
wow.
Wow.
Okay. That crosses out.
And what did they do? Did they just like,
Okay, yeah,
you can do it,
there's
kids?
plots. So season 1, it's this guy Ricky and this girl Nina. At the beginning, they were like dating, but then Nini said, "I love you," and he's like, yeah, same, but
Not
like
too much
not
for me.
good." So they
And-
kind of break up, but then at camp, Nini falls in love with this guy EJ, and he transfers in. So now there's like this weird love triangle there.
This
And
show
I have a
sounds like
question.
No, and then season
question.
2, yeah.
Does Olivia Rodrigo is in the show?
Yeah,
Does she
I
stay
want
in
to
the
talk about that. I want to talk about that. Then season
Okay.
2, they're like fighting the other drama department because the other drama department's like, we're gonna do Beauty and the Beast but better. So they're both doing productions of Beauty and the Beast, and they're trying to like compete for some kind of award.
Shit, dude.
Yeah.
That's insane.
And like
Peak cinema.
so at the end of season 1, they're like, okay, we're back together. And then between every season, they're like, okay, we got to get together. End of the season. Beginning of the season, they're like, okay, we got to break up. And then they got to get back together with another person throughout the entire season. And then they break up at the end of that season. And then they go back, another person. So, and then in season 2, they're like Ricky and Nini, they're like, okay, they're fighting. So Ricky falls in love with like the lead of the other drama department. And then for season 3, episode 1, he's like, you know what? I'm just going to leave. And then we never see the girl from the other drama department again. But the big thing is, I believe between season 2 and season 3, do you guys know Olivia Rodrigo? Like the artist?
Yeah, vaguely.
So
She was like the main
actually
character in
plays
season-
Nini in the show.
Yeah.
But I assume it was during season 2. When season 2 came out, she released like her own musical album, and it went like insane. She became like this massive star. So like, okay, we cannot get her to act for High School Musical, the series. So in season 3, they basically write her out of the entire show in 3 scenes, or like maybe 4. She like comes back in the finale, but they lost a main character for season 3 and season 4.
She's so popular.
Yeah.
Wow.
Weird premise.
And so, Beck, is this like watching The Summer I Turned Pretty, or is this
For
actually good
me,
for you?
it feels corny, but it also knows it's corny, so it is pretty funny. Like
Okay.
I like corny shows a lot. Like that like get like,
I can tell
it's
you
kind
you
of like
watch-
stupid, but it knows it's stupid. Like it's literally called it
what
High
you-
School Musical, the musical, the series. They know it's gonna be stupid. So I think it's good. They also they throw in so many like random Disney references because like we have to do that. Like they have like for a Halloween episode, like literally 2 people dressed up as Shang-Chi costumes.
Were they Asian?
No. So, and then okay, for season 3, they did like this. Season 3 and 4, they did also weird overarching plots. So in season 3, they're at the summer camp, but the summer camp they're doing a documentary about the production of the summer camp play in the show. And that's
What?
gonna air on Disney Plus. They say Disney Plus in the show.
Ooh.
It gets way
great.
too meta. It gets way too meta. It's so confusing. And then in season 4, they're filming High School Musical 4 at the school as they're doing High School Musical 3 as the play. And that's why they got all the
Right.
original actors back. I'm glad all of you are following this and are so invested. It means a lot to me.
Yeah.
Okay, I get it. No,
Okay.
I'm following.
Yeah. So yeah, it
And
is
so, how
very
does
weird.
the show? How does the show end?
Yeah, let me get into that. So it's all about
Okay.
basically the character dynamics and like the love triangles
Yeah.
between all of them. That's basically the entire like plot, just the love triangles between all of them. So in the end, like I don't know.
Wait, Beck, is there a gay love?
There is season 3.
Wow.
One of the characters
Wow.
realizes, hey, I'm bisexual. Let's go. And then in season 4, she
Wow.
gets a girlfriend.
Good for her.
Yeah.
Good for her.
And then, yeah. So, like, you have all these different love plots. It's very much a teen show. Like, kind of like the Summer I Turned Pretty, where, like, it's all just characters being like, will they get together? I don't know. But the
Yes,
one
they
thing
will.
that is crazy to me is how many songs they have in this show. Now, you're like, okay, I'd like one of you guys to guess how many songs are in this show.
Now, so this is called High School Musical, the series, right?
Yeah.
I think
I
it's
assume many.
Now, so High School Musical, the original movie, has like 7-ish songs over an hour and a half. And these episodes are how long and how many?
Each a half hour, 8 a season.
All
Do
right,
they break
so
out into song
see.
in like regular life?
Let's have Aiden guess first.
well, no, my answer completely depends on that.
Oh, they
Like,
do. They
do they-
do. They burst into.
They do. Awesome. So it's like High School Musical
Yes.
musical scenes. So I'm gonna say there's at least one per episode. At least. So
Okay. Yeah.
8 times 5, 40. At
Four
least
seasons.
40.
4 seasons, eight episodes.
I'm
a
still
season.
I'm gonna say 40.
You're right on target. 10.
So-
No. Wait. I'm going to be clear here. That's original songs. 40 original songs. 10 in the first season, 14 in the second season, 12 in the third season, 8 in the fourth season. It is
Wow.
crazy to me how they
Aiden's
could do one
closeted Disney
original
adult.
song an episode. And then if you count
Aiden
covers,
is-
it's like 80. Like that's like 2 an episode if you include covers, because they do covers of like all the High School Musical songs. They do Frozen, they do Beauty and the Beast. So yeah,
Aiden's
I actually do listen to the soundtrack on my own because some of them are really
Jesus
good.
fucking Christ.
Okay.
Oh, so I don't know. I like a show a lot more if the soundtrack I'm able to listen to it like out
That's
of
true.
context.
I'm not
I
like
gave Wish way too much credit because I do still listen to the
Yeah,
songs
I
from
know.
it.
Like, this is really
And like
good.
I also like Steven Universe a lot more just because I just listen to the songs a lot.
yeah.
So
Mhm.
yeah,
I mean, that's how I am with games.
I do think the
Um,
show is a lot better just because they have like a lot of songs, and I'm telling you, at least half of the original songs are literally just people saying like, with slow music, "I love you," blah blah blah. Is this
Boo.
mostly all that? Which is I kind of like those songs, so it was a great soundtrack for me to listen to.
Aiden's inner Disney adult really helped him do the Disney math on those songs.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So
So Beck, you give the recommendation.
eventually, no.
or-
I'm finishing. I'm gonna say what the
Oh,
ending
okay.
of the show is. So eventually, we end with season 4. One of the main characters got a starring role in High School Musical 4, and then is now starring in a Romeo and Juliet movie in Salt Lake City. And then
Wait, High School Musical 4?
yeah, no,
Like, they're.
that's the plot of season 4 is that Disney is making High School Musical 4.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So then, like, the main character, Ricky, he got a new girlfriend who's in the main cast of season 1, Gina. Like, you remember Gina, Uri? The dancer one?
Yeah.
They get
Oh,
together
yeah,
at the
yeah.
end of the season because they had a
I
big arc in
I do
season
remember
3
that.
after, Nene left.
Wow, they get married?
They
High
don't
school
get married.
sweetheart.
He just he sings a song to her as she's about to like sign for the movie, and it was a very good song, very good scene. I'm glad they finished with the song. And then they're like, we survived, we did this, let's go. And then they went to Denny's, and then they ate at Denny's, and that was the end of the show.
Did they go into the fear hole?
They
Yeah,
didn't
they went
go
to
into the
Fear
fear hole. They just they're in a
Wow.
limo, and then the camera slowly pulls back to show it's a Denny's.
Great
Wow.
product placement to end the TV show.
Yeah. So
Okay, so you give the rec.
I'm just saying this show, I'd recommend it if you like watching a lot of like corny teen shows because
Beck,
It's very
Did
good.
you watch this with your sister, or did you just watch it by
this
yourself?
on my own, and I've only
Wow.
ever seen the first one all the way through in 6th grade choir class. I have not
Wow.
seen 2 all the way through. I have seen none of 3. But I really like this show.
What a guy.
It's really
What
fun
a
to watch.
guy.
What a
But
guy.
I like don't really consider myself a fan of the original High School Musical trilogy, but I really like this show. So new
Okay,
fans
well-
can enjoy this show.
Well, it's over.
High
and-
School Musical, the musical, the series.
Well, always use Celsius, and thanks for listening.
Always use
Homegirls and
Celsius.
home Celsiuses.
And home thems.
And
babes.
always watch High School Musical, the musical,
You
the series.
should watch it right now.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.